free Ghana Tertiary Education Commission honoma aba based on your friends and directive Minister of Education de ama womo say August bosome no my ntuamoka mo de ne sen Prince
Abusama sa akwanya isu na men reach out to the minister any Director General Professor Jinapo na yenye say amanfo a lot of the minister no cry invited to a meeting na yama. In fact, under normal circumstances, a golden opportunity anytime see a bit here minister no. Am I playing? Am I can't yen somewhere higher trade papa no and all of that. And you know we would never do that. Invitation about Friday and a minute and a person will share a Monday. Because I will come back to your question about some of my background.
Sure. That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, Friday and Saka letters a minute Monday. In fact, fine. I make a creation another invitation by another letter by. I supersede first one. No. Now, first one, time near 10 o'clock. Anopa. They say, crowd, the time, they will say, 8 o'clock. Anopa, Monday. No, question, they say, you can't dream boom, no. Sometimes, crowd, a meeting, Kumasi, executives, no, from Wednesday, Obi free Bewa, Obi free Adan, Obi free Takrade, Obi free Hohoi, Obi free Abetifi, Obi free Atebu. You better share Kumasi, ye Juma on client. From Wednesday no up to Friday, weekend also be at me correct the bushing for. And that and buy a crown amount for Obi call Obi educating tampa or call we one. And see, I was here online. And I say, oh, and yes, sir, have a minute. So, only meeting not online, Zoom. Because I don't cry Zoom meeting thing. Because the practicality of Obi or call we were able to me a back, Kumasenia back and kind. Monday and about 8 o'clock, no. Wasn't just there. And the letter, Ekoma minister and the that is the dear Obuni and idiom, Eto Nenim. In fact, your response, your reply be to your letter, and a copy senra directives by. And the directives, no, yes, so much say, yeah, they are powerful. Now, despite the letter, no, the abiding, no, we continue to revere your minister, no, ministry, and your mona a year, Juma. You better more effort. We'll reach out to the minister. Maybe a matter of we explaining our part, why things happen this way. And then we'll also reach out to the National Labour Commission because the ACBR and the responsibility from this time, companies are 70 free National Labour Commission. Any new development, no National Labour Commission, your magicians are we have to notify them. So we are in the process of reaching out to the ministry and then taking decision. So I notify National Labour Commission and we'll take it from there.
Okay, but metie wona uchrem Friday no abra nanka meeting say baso any letter amotro come minister say ka omamunsia online amwenya response. You think the minister has acted in bad faith, Prince? Krata we about
my reasons in here. If anything to me, now once a ministry, no, any opportunity to engage with the minister directly. Now on my reasons in here, yeah, no. I think that in fairness, no, I wouldn't say there may be some other things a minister anymore. The opportunity to meet with him near reasons are then we'll be in a position to draw that conclusion.
Okay, but Bosome more strike manya juma na mo jacket ya na mo expect say betua moka Prince
as a strike no illegal and na employer no the right to as it were punish you by salary forfeiture. Sometimes the state no can decide to freeze your employment. And then consequently, you can you can be imprisoned or something like that. But as we speak now, no, a National Labour Commission and the right to declare the status, the legal or illegal status of any given strike. And National Labour Commission is yet to make that pronouncement. With all due respect to your ministry, no, omuna representing a buying, omuna employee, omuna ichiaeka, and all of that, no. Not even His Excellency President Akufo-Addo has the right to, as it were, do the work that is supposed to be done by the National Labour Commission. So to speak, we declare strike be legal and not illegal. And so for now, we think the National Labour Commission pronounce your strike not illegal. So we shall more ruling from the bar out the last time. I consider now illegal strike now uncompelled as the call of now appeal to us. So we should rather go and consult with our members and what have you. I think something
the directive coming from the ministry is not justifiable. Listening to you, where it's supposed to come from, and free now the minister is calling for the suspension of your salaries. Prince.
So na yegyina no yenyin tum na yemfa entonchen the ministry no ewo tumi omuna employee but ye hwe emra nanim dia ukogina o yenka se wo no wo ye ministry ntino e ba ye ma we kanen kanasem e ba before the law ne dia yenyina no equal so they what some kodan court dia yenyina equal I think friend is saying ministry no action no it doesn't sit well with the laws of the National Labour Commission.
Okay, in that case, Adena Munja ma National Labour Commission na only ministry no daily since you are at the center of this whole issue. Prince.
So here my submission now. Me can say you better take steps near notify National Labour Commission.
Okay.
No answer or question. And why we are reaching out to the ministry. I think that we still need to maintain the bridge that we have. We don't have to bend bridges. At the end of the day, I think we will continue to deal with the ministry. The minister has been fantastic. At times you cross strike the other time of prayer to the office. Nipa now ban that day we kinda schedule near very tight. International dignitaries near the he made time to talk to us. And the day the minister will be freya ebekate yenko. It is important that you share the legal aspect, no. You better also friends relationship ministry, no, minister no in term no. You be maintaining by sustaining and what have you the relations. I don't think reach out to the minister.
Okay, but I believe, sir, you take consolation from the fact, say, arrears before August, that's a consolation, right?
Oh, that is the order. Order now by it's a compliance. So now comply with that bit of the way. I think the about ministry, so one making attempt to comply with the order.
Prince, Mami, no what's in your fancy, huh? Why? Prince obeying hima. A national president for SITAG and actually and Komono Adom 106.3 FM. Share your thoughts with me on WhatsApp and I say on Facebook. Adom 106.3 FM Facebook na fe yenjibre na yenkenkan emfa emma enti say oh yeah SITAG member yeah abeto Jenny. Vodafone so ayede Vodafone edemu promo no emu ayede papa dia etienne say o recharge Vodafone auto credit 5 Ghana cedis and above unya 20% cashback ever Vodafone cash wallet no so etietia etishane so until recharge 10 Ghana cedis, 15 Ghana cedis, 20 Ghana cedis, 20% cashback, assured. And don't change out to me so the whole share at the moon dance challenge, emu fa Vodafone edamu nyomo no fa di asa na ye video na tag Vodafone Ghana na fe Samsung enche wachede bebre phones ni earbuds ahodo ni nyina no betimi edi. So keep reloading in their demo promotion and win big. Vodafone, further together. Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. And now what the Nchiremu buy a car Bank of Ghana abonye dikai na fei near aya very topical. Bank of Ghana head office fofra wamo AC na yentin sama odi tu dwano ebi na fei wi a yenyina so ntwetwe enkomo. Dr. Ernest Addison, Governor of the Bank of Ghana.
It is important to state that a significant part of the annual borrowing was just to meet debt service and energy payment obligations, given that Ghana's annual external debt service payments and energy payments alone had risen to the range of $3 to $4 billion annually as at 2020. Losing access to the international capital market for new financing immediately triggered a liquidity crisis for government, spilling over into a balance of payments crisis, as the country had to continue to honor its debt service obligations, energy payments, and import bill. In keeping up with these critical external payments, the Bank of Ghana lost $500 million in external reserves in just 2 months, with no new inflows of foreign currency from the usual annual Eurobond issuance to replenish its reserves. Furthermore, to help address government's liquidity crisis, the bank extended additional overdraft to the government to address auction failures and prevent domestic default, and enabled government to meet domestic debt obligations and other critical payments needed to avoid a disorderly halt to economic activity. Throughout the first half of 2022, there was no new foreign financing until July, when the Afri-Exim Bank stepped in to support with $750 million. This is a typical replay of what is referred to in the literature as a first-generation macroeconomic and balance of payments crisis. You would recall that many people doubted if the economy was in crisis, because they did not hear that interest rates on bonds were not being paid in early 2022. They did not see queues at the pump for petrol and diesel. There were no shortages of international essential items on the market, and they did not hear that public sector workers, including civil servants, the police and the military, were not being paid their salaries. The reason was that the Bank of Ghana had provided the needed support to keep the economy going. In all these, the Bank of Ghana has acted within the applicable laws. It is not true that the Bank of Ghana has been providing financing for government every year. There has been zero financing in 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2021. The Bank of Ghana has only had to support in the pandemic year of 2020 and the crisis year of 2022. The Bank of Ghana Act, as amended, limits financing of the government to 5% of the previous year's tax revenue. This provision in the law has been adhered to since I took office in April 2017. Between 2017 and 2019, in addition to the requirements of the Act, the bank signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Finance to even impose a tighter restriction of zero central bank financing. And this was observed strictly, even though the MOUs were not legally binding. Between 2012 and 2015, the bank provided overdraft to finance government and cocoa board every year, and there was neither a pandemic or a global economic crisis. When Ghana was hit with the COVID-19 in 2020, Section 36 of the Bank of Ghana Act as amended was triggered, and as indicated earlier, the bank purchased the 10 billion cedis worth of the COVID-19 bonds to support the economy through the pandemic. This was done within the applicable laws governing the Bank of Ghana. When Section 36 of the Act as amended is triggered, it allows the governor, the Minister of Finance, and the Controller and Accountant General to agree on a new limit of central bank financing. The law further says that the Minister of Finance will then have to inform Parliament, and the Minister has since informed Parliament as part of his briefing to update Parliament on the IMF program and the status of the domestic debt exchange. Began to plan the building of its new head office, taking into consideration the need to ensure that the building meets all the requirements of a modern central bank of international standards, similar to central bank head office buildings in Abuja and Dakar, and includes provision for data centers, currency processing centers, vaults, and other sensitive installations. It is not just a simple, ordinary building. Let me re-emphasize that the bank followed all the necessary public procurement processes in this endeavor. No procurement laws were broken. The decision to commence construction was taken as far back as 2019.
Adom 106.3 FM into the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. And yeneno and oten and kano enra and sama ode etuja defending the losses at Bank of Ghana aye, and then the new head of his now Bank of Ghana AC but mamen kwa humano so na mene me wafa prekupo ora rexoma oye convener for Arise Save Ghana Now. Waba homano so mene no entwetwe enkomo for Rex na nka mene ne kasase ya enka ne nka fa gamro ho but Arise Ghana oba ba choti menka
metonka wo break it but metonka
okay me de metonka yi pa but so bibia boko de
nyamia do bibia boko
kede nyamia ate for obia onim Arise Ghana movement ya wo ye convening chamfoni kakra chen eyekuo be ya Uncle Rex
me opposition wa de ya
me break you okay but my answer raise you bill but otemenka
metonka
afedi ye okay na me bisa say for obia onim ekuo a Arise Ghana movement ekuo kra eye no da kuo no adi kakra kire na ye hunu krokro wadaroma hello yes I'm Fred Rex na we for other line friend na fe yen hwe Rex Oma aye convener Arise Ghana na one of the krata aba press statement and run on this krata yi ebae Arise Ghana to join Occupy Bank of Ghana demonstration. If Bank of Ghana governor, deputies, and board of directors do not resign over their gross mismanagement. Eti kratano ena ekutami wa he mamenkan the first paragraph na fe menhwe but Mr. Rex say oyusu hands-free device bia so you should hands-free device bia Katane say Arise Ghana has followed keenly the recent public discourse on the dire state of the Bank of Ghana emanating from the 2022 audit report and financial statement of the bank. After painstakingly studying the damning revelations contained in the 2022 report and financial statement of the Bank of Ghana, we have come to the conclusion that the central bank is in the unprecedented mess it presently finds itself because of crass mismanagement by the Addison-led board and management. We hold the view that the illegal printing of money by Bank of Ghana in the year 2021 and 2022 to the tune of 77 billion Ghana cedis to finance the recklessness of the corrupt Akufo-Addo Bawumia MPP government is in flagrant disregard of Section 30 of the Bank of Ghana Act as amended is the height of irresponsibility and must be condemned by all well-meaning Ghanaians. Even more bizarre and condemnable is the illegal writing of about 32 billion of this amount without recourse to Parliament in breach of Section 53 of the Public Financial Management Act. In fact, this irresponsible criminal act of the Bank of Ghana governor, ably supported by his deputies and useless board of directors, is what has plunged the once profitable Bank of Ghana into unprecedented losses to the tune of 60.8 billion Ghana cedis and a negative equity of 55.1 billion in 2022 alone. It is sad to note that despite the huge sums of monies, over 77 billion Ghana cedis, that Bank of Ghana has illegally printed for the corrupt Akufo-Addo Bawumia MPP government, the vast majority of suffering Ghanaians have not seen any improvement in their livelihoods. As a matter of fact, due to this singular reckless act of Bank of Ghana, the rate of inflation continued to soar and currently stands at 43.1%. thereby depleting the purchasing power of the ordinary Ghanaians who have not seen any commensurate improvement in their disposable incomes. Sadly, while Ghanaians continue to suffer as a result of the mismanagement of the Bank of Ghana and the Bawumia-chaired economic management team, greedy and corrupt officials of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia MPP government continue to starch their homes with millions of dollars, which they have amassed in government, as we witnessed in the latest scandal involving the former Minister of Sanitation, Cecilia Abnadapa. Additionally, we have taken note of and are totally disgusted by the outrageous operational expenses that the Addison-led Bank of Ghana engaged in last year, as captured in the 2022 report and financial statement of the bank. It is unconscionable that at a time the economy has virtually been collapsed and Ghanaians are experiencing excruciating hardships, including a punitive debt restructuring policy, Bank of Ghana will spend a whopping 131.6 million Ghana cedis on vehicle maintenance, 67.9 million Ghana cedis on computer, 97.4 million Ghana cedis on foreign and domestic travels, 32 million Ghana cedis on communication expenses, and a staggering 357.9 million Ghana cedis on banking supervision, amongst others. Again, it is totally irresponsible that the Bank of Ghana has chosen to embark on an ill-timed and hyper-inflated new office complex project at a cost of a staggering $250 million at a time it had incurred such gargantuan losses and negative equity due to mismanagement and financial imprudence. We share the view that the decision by Bank of Ghana to build a new 250 million office complex at this time is a misplaced priority and the height of insensitivity which must not be countenanced by Ghanaians. It is against this backdrop that Arise Ghana has decided to join and hereby joins the call by the Minority Caucus of Parliament for the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, his deputies and the Board of Directors to resign with immediate effect to save the central bank from further mismanagement and deterioration. We hereby serve notice that should the aforementioned officials of Bank of Ghana refuse to resign within the 21-day ultimatum given them, Arise Ghana and its allies will join forces with the minority and other progressive forces to demand their resignation through a series of public protests. Signed, Comrade Rex Omar, convener, Comrade Bernard Mona, co-convener. Eti Kratano, ana makenkan it na say Arise Ghana for no chest omo de omo support minority for yebekaya the last time a minority for a press conference omo 21 days in the how many days na aka 7 days na aso and they expect the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, and in the board of directors, and the deputies in the board of directors, you know, say, one more and resigning. And a home common and a pay a person and it Rexoma. Or a convener for Arise Ghana for yane no etwetwe enkomo selino and tutomu papa selino etomwa yane no ebeka sabat drop your comment on Facebook na fe yenjebre na yenkenkan enfa emma enra governor enkasayemu no point number 15 ahona na me interest wopa efa losses a womo eyeye the last paragraph of between 2012 and 2015 the Bank of Ghana provided overdraft to finance government and cocoa board every year, and there was neither a pandemic nor a global economic crisis. Obekaya sika Arise Ghana for the minority for almost say abaino etwa na Bank of Ghana etwa na say wabu mraso Senka Obeche Sika Kra 5% of the total revenue of the fiscal year. And so we chamane bro. And no mun chemo no Bank of Ghana governor HSA between 2012 and 2015. Wabra na pandemic bia NC na global economic crisis bia so NC you know. The government then and the Bank of Ghana then one more providing overdraft. Well, that is the explanation coming from the governor. Yabetu Chimo and Komana Fee. Also, so when you munchemo. Well, a Sikasem. And then so near Sikawan Hono, one over to me. And Game Park Games. And no dear. Mausika bribia or how bia anyhow. A kind Game Park Limited, the newest lottery operator in Ghana. At the Pick 4 game, Ediaba. A Pick 4 game. Debia Meshada Mount Chirimu Kakra. Debia Meshada Mount Chirimu Kakra. Numbers 0 to 9. Numbers 0 to 9. Numbers 0 to 9. No, Uyimu and 9. Aha, Emubia and 9. Enti download the Game Park app no. Ewo phone so, and I say iPad or laptop or computer so. Say unimkuta smartphone. Oyama no so dial star 946 hash. Star 946 hash. Network bia na onso so weti me. Echa, unya twankwa dia obedi. Yeah. That's all called www.gameparkgames.com. Now fe Chiben Adom TV. Debia. AM Prensa. Yeah, live draws. Ewa Adom TV. And you pay a common on what we say. In your bonon kuno pepe 9 a.m. Yeah, the first draw, live draw at the Bebrel. Now fe area prem to brands so the second live draw at the anoso so the Abrel. Now fe enumre nonsia. The third and final live draw for the day. The announcer so Eddie Abreu Monday to Sunday. In the Koswacha Game Park. More mula, more power. National Lottery Authority in Sasha and Paso Undi in Fie doing what you are. Menfa Hun Shemubi. Maminchia tetrete ukwamwa sechim. Oye wasa amenfi mahine. Tetrete ukwamwa sechim. Tetrete anapei. Bibo dia mekwa hamentuma. Ujidisa ohye. Ahomwane mfa de bonkata na poso emre o. Ahomane tutomu a enkoma wo hobia ne de beba. Once that ADB truly a great and more top choco taste of chocolate is chocolatey latex foam your partner for life and a Vodafone cash merchant. Omadaroma I'm not sure about what say what na say abina poku ahwene so atna say. Once again, happy birthday, Nkoma Dickiness, Monica, and Nini, Elder Samuel, and Nini Nehukani. Once again, happy birthday to you. Repsoma, Nkoma no, I'm so crowd, but comments be brave. Yanhwe fi nkomo ne baso magibre nana ampofo comment na wa ha ebekin kan mensuru ebekin kan dia ma pa ajwa
yey
your mic ni Rex aba okay Rex ma ba homa no so ma menhwe na fi me nkona me ne no entoa enkomo no so oye convener for Rise Ghana Rex.
Hello.
Ma ta fe otimin kan yi
Africa me ton kapa
me da se na me mo akwanya na wa introduce Rise Ghana kuo no we oda no e dia magana for obi a onti ko yidin eda e ko ben a
yo me da Rise Ghana eye akuakuo a yaka ye ho abom political party wom CSS wom and individuals are omo eye a politics omo person omo ye Pakistan nso wom eti no Rise Ghana na nyeko baako eye akuakuo ne yaka ye ho abom.
Okay, it's more interest pa and saying number paraport na mudi ansani aba and then come on so.
Your interest is Ghana first, end of story. If they are say a political party A or B and a brand that's a BB cost to a year totally against the minor. Anytime they are starting the happy, they are better Rise Ghana. Okay,
etikataya enra mode ebe tu dwen krataya wari ye minority for na enim say one more share Bank of Ghana a friend saying openia odano ene nim pen for muta na chi say within 21 days one form adwuma to ho ene na Rise Ghana
why dey na start you at Sembekwe
Rex Otenga.
Wow.
Hello.
What did not start to get the position who you make my job?
Who na so position who you made and yamtia na meti e the position who you mind.
I don't know why I that.
What you mean ka?
Me tell kata but I tell kata from very very far. It's a very basic.
Wow. Oh you so hands free device be ana.
I just feedback me. In fact me na me so a friend say touch that I'm doing no because I better.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, who you man? I feel what you mean ka?
Is the same but the customer try to make it.
Okay. And yeah money tell more interest war Bank of Ghana Nsem semi ho and they modem ho akobo minority for anything Rex.
Oh man.
Mate, talk to my producers. Na fi yen share the bon krata no ase yen sakana yen no ebe twetwen enkomo Rexoma and ye boy homoden ase yen no ebe kasa on the Bank of Ghana issues. Adwa.
Yey.
Oh yeah.
Nyame go so shira yen.
Ya de nyame ase. The way oji su ye no. Ma fi me mame.
Tama na yetie kura so sa.
Abra.
CJ.
Oh yeah.
Nyame go so shira me.
Ya de nyame ase.
Na so
yeah.
E de rade ase.
Yeah. The boy to say body no na to say body na bre.
Bibia be fine.
And so adwuma no aka so be he no. Utwu mutan. Say uji kwasutu makatu ya nko ade.
Thank you. So adwuma ye ni akatu ya sene de a. Ene na katuafo no so adwuma se no. Thank you.
Dickiness no aka no.
Thank you.
What Rex?
Hello.
Me ba to minka.
Me tonka.
Yeah. Okay. So na mi bisa mu interest wo adwuma amudie mu no. Minority na wo ama Bank of Ghana penny for 21 days. And then mo de mo akobo wo mo. Mo interest was answer me money saying over X.
Your interest me say yan kasa me prefer that. Because for bare 6 months Arise Ghana ever since I hear mamo demonstration I want to yanka. Na across the scandals upon scandals upon scandals. Nti na ya prefer that. If you want to choose a minority, I'm a friend say Bank of Ghana ultimatum no. Meanwhile, no more to me a deep issue no more attempt to my part. I just say you put on Kwem. And you know, I mean my idea because I didn't know more it's in the interest of Ghana and it is a fact. And we can idea how
And Majorisa Mutie, the governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, in Chemwa, or the buy a car Bank of Ghana, Abo, and then that of the Yafani Makumako, on a cano and overdrafter minority for a raising, or the explanation by it. But a Tasumu over X.
Tasumu, I wish you watch me. A friend say, I will have that. Then some of the kind of maybe a move the Mr. They send Dr. Addison about 60.8 billion a Kana Omabo and then 55.1 the friends equity deficit now. Or Bank of Ghana as a profit making if you now study KBR or even though this is Kabata whatever everything they okay. And also a press conference. After almost almost and then almost started 2019, 2020 thereabout. Yesterday and then almost the question to Dr. Addison is Bank of Ghana now was the profit making. After we see you made the profit 2019. And out of the profit of 2019, out of $250 million. Every AC head of it. So how did they make the profit and from whom did they make the profit? Bank of Ghana, Ghana Bank, Central Bank. Now, the same Bank of Ghana 2019, 2020, what was the GDP ratio to our debt? And yet 2020, and I'm not your friends and even what bank and said the way I hear Europe or your economy better. All these days, not just one Bank of Ghana is winning our profit. $250 million. I'm with the question head office. It is a Bank of Ghana, Central Bank of Ghana. It means that the whole country called Ghana, the bank is the Bank of Ghana. And at that time now, we raised $250 million because of office. What was the economic situation in this country? The same country, recently, $3 billion a year per Brian Sana, World Bank, approval. I am a Bukatra. So if you do calculation now, 3 billion, you take 12 for Bank of Ghana, one, somebody could come head office. Does this make sense? You see, Ghana said, I didn't say, and come maybe out to go focus school, a question here, and in India at the bottom mind. By the school, a question in India at the Bay my dream. And that's exactly what is going on. Because the president, the minister of finance, the vice president, the head of economic management, they know about all these things. And because they're all benefiting, they are finding results. That's what is going on. Some few people in this country have got together and there's no rule of law. And the state minister of state, assistant fiscal cash, millions of dollars. And who was the first person to come they are arresting president? That's what they know. A friend said you'll be exonerated. This is the country we have. And looking at Ghana, Arise Ghana, they actually says, based on the constitution, the only option we have is to protest. These are some of the things that airport to other African countries, like Niger, like Mali, like Burkina, and Poitou, Ebano. The person for Ghana. It's the only way this is Ghana for your story democratically. You protect it. That almost a friend say, about one for. Yes, someone for the banning for they have to investigate it. A client part of Munya Church can acquire part of Ghana is 60.8 billion. You can't transfer 60.8 billion, and you're some fighting. You know how much and what this amount of money could have done for Ghana? Who could see office again, $250 million. I mean, country, man, we have to be careful.
But correct. Who governor and Chema or the buy near the kind say Bank of Ghana a home anamontuno and yenne and a chassis. And no, what Jenny saying, then we can make progress.
Maybe Dr. Addison said, Bank of Ghana, Ghana Bank. According to Bank of Ghana, it's not for profit making. 2019, 2020, no, still almost 30 or more office mission. What was the economic situation of this country? And when you to be cuckoo says the council of the head office. 2019, 2020, what was our debt ratio to GDP? And you says the council of the head office. So if that expenditure is justifiable, in this country, what happens is few people got together, whether Adom 106.3 it makes sense or is justified, it's not justified. Their interest is not the country. Their interest is how much they are going to get from out of the project. And that is the reason why. So the driving force, the motive of doing that project at that time, whether it is sensible or not, was not based on the interest of Ghana. It was based on their own personal selfish interest. And we don't know yes idea.
More other concern so sika more friend illegal printing of money by the Bank of Ghana in the year 2021 and 2022. But enra sami koto free the governor no honoma or say between 2012 and 2015 the Bank of Ghana provided overdraft to finance government and cocoa board every year between 2012 and 2015, and there was neither a pandemic nor a global economic crisis. And no Ujin is saying Rex.
How much did they print? How much did they give to government 2015 and how much did they give 2021? I don't know the one.
Jim FM.
It is the whole situation. It's the damage control they are trying to do, and this will not wash with us.
Okay.
It will not wash with us.
And to say I am more minority for when and I'm on to a saying, I'm saying 7 days. Wow.
Yes, on the 5th, which is 5th September, Tuesday.
Yeah.
About 8, United States Parliament House. In front of the Parliament House. But Parliament then we take it from there.
Any information say approach for Enkita no akoyi menti approach for amamo kwan say picket and answer demonstration no emraso.
Approach for doesn't have the power to give us a fine. Based on constitution, we have to inform police. The minority caucus have informed police, and that's it. We don't need their petition to do whatever. We just have to inform them so that they can reach their work. And the minority has done that. Even if the farmer
arise so because politically motivated NDC ku and a more NDC adwuma ma wo ma Rex ubeya no saying me final question
MPP for the woman
MPP for whom
PPP for the woman NDC for
Rex but MPP for whom
and then I make a friend say for MPP for whom CPP for whom SCP for whom GUM for whom a friend say TSO ATEPA so many things so many organizations. Me work with my organization.
Okay.
And yeah, a friend say, if they say politically motivated, what do they mean? And what do you mean by politically motivated? Everything about this country is politics, even if in your own home. Because that is said in Brazil, a human ego, the second value, and conform with your man, compared to another word, I bet you and Mark we are going to need to start with. And whatever is happening economically, whatever is happening to everybody living in this country, whether you are CPP, whatever it affects you. So if that is what we call politically motivated, so be it.
I read my man answer the fan community. Why? Medasi pa Rexoma a convener for Arise Ghana. Dixon Asante on Facebook was CJ. I now support Rex 100%. He's right on this issue. Bank of Ghana has squandered the money. No justification. How was the economic situation in the world? CJ, let's clap for Rex, please. Dixon Asante dia or de ebaye and no say if he wants answers, he should wait when the party he's affiliated to comes to power. Then he can ask these questions. Nanampo for dia or de ebaye and no ebiwaha. Okay. Erasmus on the Gojo for Joanna Ubisana say Gojo for Joa or Jumempa and when to say good morning CJ, I'm Dixon from Harlem. Okay Dixon Makan Odewe. He could have allowed others to say so and not him. Nanampo for the buyer and on Rexoma at the end. If not for hypocrisy, someone who couldn't even manage a group of musicians is now calling the fellow to resign from the same mismanagement act. That man is a joke. And also there or the Abba and no. Adwa.
Yay.
Enti yanko anyway na fa the Democrat na poso no. Fa assistance wa ha.
So wa wo. Sister bana poku ahwene.
Okay kan.
He just so friend na for sister no. E ka ho. Na nya solid.
Sije na kasa to de be na menim de opa hu.
Esa na kasa wo na asa de opa kasa.
Ya na menim de sije opa hu.
Adwuma no yama wadwuma we so wo hu adwuma no
sister so sister be asem na wo kan.
Na wo bodin ni full. Esa na se abna na enye.
Adwa de yenko yenim.
Adwa unte me pii ensu no.
O pii no. Sister bna no bia wo say wa sha se ebu ade.
Erade.
Say no bit be say ni meje bi say enti mu de amu de CJ no ye.
Mo me enkwai.
Ye ko. Enkrata na ba. In fact big one say wo mu nyina ye nkomo a watwetwe Bank of Ghana de ye. One say no a adwuma de sonkokɔ so. Aso ye a ebo amane e na mpanimfo ne wo mu sori gina no wo kire entotoye ne ne ma hodo a wo mu aye na wo kire se wo mu se report na ba de ne nso. Se de mu nsɛm te ase de sika no wo mu boa pa wo mu kire mu afie dodo a omode boaboa sika no kakra na omodu bepeso a wonom ewei enti omode mu nkyeremu aba o the new crusading guide mu na asia hasem bi wo hanoma me hu ye no me ye mo hye me kakra or say family petitions IGP to investigate death of Maxwell Okoto in Akwatia. And to be a kwatafan ye toso mienu no Maxwell Okoto yi ni mfonyi da ha wanya ne baby ko na abusuan de krata akwa akoma posi sahene Dr. George Akufu Dampare so wasrada wa mo teteye se posi ni na de ehyan atwifa a wo mo de hye no so na saa bra ne kwanhwemu ma beto dwa se wa bro de ehyan ne bo mo de hye ma ne firi mu no na saa ehyankani na posi ni kwa na ne license na awu etina woni hotumi so otuka akora ewo mayi mu enti wo mo mpese be yese uni posi ni nya asem ayiwani na bebu atiawo enha ho na enkosi ba bia omo wogidie wo posi adwumako ni mu nti ana omo de krata abra GPC wo srada ana mom bia obetu ama atentere ne akoso no wonye na abusua na koma ento wonom eyem na obasia no so a say let's live in unity to promote development in Pokuase na se nananom hemfo ye Pokuase ene etufo se ba bia no empuntu obetumi akoso a age se enkabomu eye adwuma wo ho enti o masre se be ya nka o manfo Pokuase nka won homom na wonye adwuma na mpanimfo hu no so maye krado etwa empuntu se be empuntu esafata no wonom ensa ebeka e wonpotem nti we ne nsama hudo the new crusading guide obokrata no ediaba
mame fawo enko daily guide da obokrata yimuna ye hwamane no so diaba wo hwe anim ha ya Dr. Ernest Addison Bank of Ghana boss na o chese 60 billion Ghana cedis ye loss auditor general report beto dwa no wo se ye technical enti omo mayiro mo kasa keka wo so no wo mu se bibi etesa aba so na so ye technical wo ti ase da no hu ba bi e ko ho asem da ha saying na uba from hon so a on katafeto so miensa ha say no na ebo amane se abrante bi ono ewo ne best the 40s na ne fiewura ono so nya best 60 years kwasianto wa twa papa ne tie firi so ewo bia west masini mu ewo atoye tifi mantem ni mu ne nyina ne se abrante no ohun ya no esusu se ne fiewura no ne ono ne baba ye onye 19 years atwempna ene ono aso do eye ne fiewura na fo na ne fiewura ne kwa afo mu no na se asase no ne afo do tibie wo mu no enye efiewura complaining ya no ya wofu fa enkranteni na ti no odi twaye etwa ne ti no efienti yekasai no eno eye de asie ewo yawo anane ye no eye kroba kwa tete kwadwuma no mo ye pa eno ho asem eda ha ndc so na wo mo eche se bosumi ye besimu eye ebobosumi ne dato so enum ebesi ebenada wo mo etom hogu montes ne civil society organizations ne bi ebe ye o ye kire de Tia Bank of Ghana governor na eye empanyefo bi eka ho nto mo de nkrata akwakoma posifo epe bambo at abo mamanie esa na monsa no mo ebeto Dr. Kesel atofosen ena nensa ehesa enkrata yesia wo mo de akoma posifo no na eno achi so no MPP so chese wo ma ye ready nyame yadoma memenda ebe ya no ena super delegates conference no ebe koso na party no atoba ayimpanyefo enuma ebe ko November 4th na emu bako abetu franka de ma party no na eye MPP presidential election committee no vice chairman eye kwabena abankwa yeboa ono na wode semwe eto sebtwefo nim ebra mo efre sebtwefo nhyiam ntemu nkyiremu na watie no ti kakra daily guide so ediaba na mabobo bi so ediama wono
the find that obokrata enie oswa for hwemumasu ho nsem so ni mfonyi da ha Dr. Duchum na was next academic year no na se nkodama kwa no mu bio school 12 SHS ebefrase na wo mo alpha aviation and aerospace courses sebe ya nkwada no de omo kan system no emu be mia na afei agina brane ewo ho afei wo bakwata fa ento so enum a twifu mampon asase fa baabi kagumu edwiriye de kan say landslide no na manfo dodo no ano kuadwuma no mo yenti ebi adwafuo ya chese bode de ne ahane a ne san ko betwa na wode akodwa so nya wono mfa so afoforo bi nso bayire menkani ene ade ne san asase ne dwirugu yenti wo mo afuo maye ne mfifra wo mo asanyina no aye wo mo kanti wode ade hwede eto empanifo anim se wosrada ebe ya nka emmoa esefata no wo mfa emedo wo mo san se wo mo boso me bre nyina na sa filimu bre nyina no na adwiri aguo no na as the NDC brings no alternative to the conversation. Richard Ahiagba and an info director of communications at the MMPP among your kono chese NDC among your kono makwa reverse no mo seba na bana wono eba no wo hye near the fufuro bia ya wode eba abregana fo na chief imam info nyida ha Sheikh Usman Nuhu Shaributu wono eno ye nkramofo nyina ba no dani wo man yi emu eno chese Niger abantuguo ya akoso wo hodom no wose we na ehia diplomatic interventions yene amahodo so ntami nkita hodie ne pepepe yeso ena wose mpanimfo yi wo mo edetoto akwan mu se be ya nkomotwetwe no ebetumi akoso na awieye na wode se futuon ama ya the finder de obokrata no de abana big one de ne nyina ye Bank of Ghana de ya ni munchiremu ya abano o se cost of new headquarters not bloated na se Dr. Ernest Addison ono so ni mfonyi the finder de obokrata no anim
enye na daybreak na yediwie amao anopai na daybreak ebo amane o hyemu a ye papa ya osafomafo se o senior presidential advisor o say oba Ghana o hamu chichemu aduoson o mafo eti Ghana no eye Christopher na ohamu chichemu aduasa na aka no aye asoma hodo nkramo ne asoma hodo bi eka ho no o ma 30% no na o say obisasa enkyekere ben na Ghana ha ya ohamu chichemu aduoson ya Christopher no wo mo kwotena soy dem ya na soy no edema esanse se dwumudie kata se kankan ne proye ekosora na eyesa nipa ya ebo wo mo nsafo hene so mo ya Christopher ya no na ebo sabra no enti edi enti na se wo ye Christo na wonim de Christo aka na wonim de atwa kronkron no eka ukotena so da memenda kwasie da kɔbɔ mpa ye kɔsra dom ekotie kyerɛkyerɛ na wowie betena wo office bɛbɔ man ne krono bɛbɔ man no dwimu ne ade wo so wadwe ho awonte ase enti ebia bibi kɔso a enkoyie enkyerɛkyerɛ bi na enkoyie anase bible na kase na kita nipa na wo so ye kristo ni no musam no onfanya adwuma wanfanya adwuma so asotwe bi ni babia ya eba no so sɛde asɔfoɔ ka sɛde nipa bi ka ɛma no ekowie no ntede wɔ se sɛ ɔman no betumi agina yie asafo ahodoɔ begina yie ma nkyɛkyerɛ yie na de ɔso ye kristo ni na hunu ɛnepa wɔ se ne kwan pɛ wɔ so ɔfa so ɔse gana bɛkɔ nanim na nkɔman ya mu 70% ya kristofoɔ deɛ kɛnsɛ sɛ ɛba no corruption a ɛno so bɛyɛ wɔ haw ne amane bɛsɛ ɔman ne kɔmu a wɔgye ne ho a ɛnye wɔde nsɛm wɔ nyina to dwa ɛwɔ abetifi kwawu ɛno wɔ poemantemu na ɛbra na ɛyɛ assemblies Presbyterian Church of Ghana wɔn ɛyɛ wɔn 23rd general meeting no ɛna wɔde nsɛm wɔ ɛto dwa enti ɛno ɛyɛ asɛm kɛse ɛde break ɛde aba MPP election committee no so kyerɛ sɛ fan yɛ pɛpɛpɛ yɛ ɛbɛkɔ so nyame yɛ adoma memenda ɛbɛyi ɛwɔ abatoɔ ne mu ɛna Bank of Ghana boss na kasa no so defending headquarters project no ya wɔkyɛ sɛ wɔn emu mmerɛ bia so wɔn ntu mmerɛ bia ɛwɔ anamo a wɔn etu no enti sigye da bɔkrata emu nsɛm ɛbaayɛ no hai na yɛde ewie adwa so awie on hai na yɛde wie na happy birthday enkoma mia menua bema Felix Jima Dafo Felix Jima Dafo ene na woda dodo na friend Longman co-professionals network or ye secretary enti Longman nyame onhira onye okese na wonto nkwa na mu akoma so ade wani so de hunu nyina no ba de ema no emre mu ma o enti on behalf of KPN executives ni nyina na me aso ahwene ye do pa nyame enhira o and now say help me wish my political father and uncle Chairman BB Moro of Akwatia constituency a glorious birthday. May the Lord bless him with more ages and abundant grace. We free oba Chairman Godfred Bonsu NDC Kade constituency and na edemao and I will so say happy birthday and come my adorable precious and lovely wife Oraire Evelyn Eram ahetochre osikani kwabna chre and na every show happy birthday no we free kwa obochi nra se na we free nyame enhira opa Oraire Evelyn ahetochre na onyo kese ora oso do pa wate medase CJ ya wie why ya wie
ya yene se ya de bia ya jidem na yenya pan yen kasa
ya na free o CJ migusun so solicit for votes
adwuma no media me ye na hapa ona odidi agro enti
CJ me
wa won vote emma abrapo kwa hwene bomodin na vote ma
ajo wa vote
a Time Art and Entertainment Awards and Minia Babna when nomination Best News Anchor Female.
Thank you.
Best News Anchor Female. Enti bomodin na Tomano what dial star 800 star 714 hash na wa selective vote na afi wa enter nominee ni code abra code ni anything
67 bebe na kra na send momo a me di vote in fact ebi mo amana bro me so kra na at the right time no at the right time no woni me say
vote wo di mo don worry
ye manage won no say bi won ma oya wa cho sabra me pese wo dru number say na won no screenshot vote na wo sese because wo
yeah
enti wo to ka wo hunu say wato because enye say beba na watena zika no so na wanto so at enti wo to kwa wo hunu say wato enti no mo amo send me momo edi no me chocho beba no mabeda mu nyina ase me nya hu wo die no enti nya me hye mu nyina nya me hye mu nyina
wo send wo die no
na ko efie ni penti
bo number no na momo no ohun because vote ni here
we na di na
ka na dem den so no say bi mu so frema your stories
yes
ahamachin
a bit from my stories
Michelle boat driver be over the weekend story be now
yes
I'm a summer
and
you're not a friend Mr. Danso no the friend no the story no na ye no Saturday
yes
it's a number na kono wo mo mu de but wo story bi wo ba bia
necessary
and bia wo credit now po bia friend na twetwe nkoma abetuna
anya hwe wo de meti o ate
enti abra number ni 024
Thank you.
0242 60 2021 0242 60 2021 Ketwa biensa o send ne sika no a momo no a ono ade be vote
bi send ya send one CD omo nyina be do masinya mi sira won
say one vote
one vote
enra kafu imtimu say sa story na but me ho ye platform no so
okay
ana ankafu prisons
yes
wo mo hianro and I'm sorry na me maintain news man hwe TV enti me hu platform no so na sem ne kama koma
e be kan akoma
e kama koma pa enti e hona no mentimi hu sankopon na de atoma koma so se me kika me nsase
yes
na menjinro
yes
wahu na me ne doctor for enka me ho na yen ko donate enfama ankafu prisons
okay
enti officially me kasa asemi me pon a me ne mpen for badwene ho na afi akeka nsase agigi sika de akotondro no ya so me sima ko draglin no abusafo bebre ho no ma me ko ho no ma okanshi na akogigi nro ne kakra na afi ya de agukam na ya de akoma yenuan mo ankafu prisons na ebe ya hweho se wo de fiase na wo yare na wo nyadru
very unfortunate
wo de fiase na wo yare na wo nyadru ebe ya hweho sempa enti akama koma se sa na mo no mintu
ye better wachi so no waye no pepe sije
your free bia pa ni piano and ye ba so a se ne parada kakura na benya ye keto bi ansha ye beje ne akeka bo
se ye sika ye beje se ye dura
ye beje
yes nyame hyem nyina sije
monya ne sa
ye better wachi wate bia be fine me mame auntie baba kosa Addison Owurayere e wotema one daddy Addison ye chiema no pay nyame enka mo pa e mayen sije ye da se
okay Adom 106.3 FM abena poku ahwene ne anocho abadwo asewa e de bonkrata na poso Eddie Brain. I want to Daniel Farmer ADB truly a great and more top choco taste of chocolate. It's chocolatey. Latex from your partner for life and a Vodafone cash merchant. Omada Roma and yede the one kratano na poso yede ebre uti we mami meba nyakache and yede someone within the chief J Forsen yeba.
Why are you squatching so fast on the Pepsodent box?
I want to be the first to enter the back to school promo to win exciting prizes for Kwame to school.
Awesome!
Yes, there are exciting prizes to be won instantly.
It's only Pepsodent, so I start scratching.
No! Key Bar and Geisha are included. All you need to do is simply buy your favorite bathing soap that lasts long. Geisha, Key Soap, and multi-purpose bar with Ghanaian heritage and your maximum cavity protection toothpaste, Pepsodent. Scratch panel and text to short code *844*40# to win exciting prizes instantly. If you accumulate higher points on all three products, you can win the ultimate rewards of 5,000 Ghana Cedis cash prize, a tabletop fridge, and 1,000 Ghana Cedis Malcolm shopping vouchers. There are over 200,000 rewards to be won. Redeem your prizes at any Unilever distributor's point. Anyways, promo starts from July to August. This advert is FDA approved.
We need you to read all of this in the next 30 seconds. Is that okay?
Yeah? All of it? Do they really offer all of this?
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go.
All the goals, flashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka. All 380 games, all in HD. Available in all the languages you want, on all the devices you enjoy. Choose the bouquet you want from all the options available. The Premier League, all on DSTV.
Yareda akradia for fry your friend of Big 4 free game pack games no edi where akradia ne tuni ni die nya den kra the number ahodwa and 930 kosi 9 impressa de biara na beka yen kunum difu ane ho wo betumi atowo abefon kratwa bia www.gamepackgames.com ana ubebo *946# wo phone so na wo dia toman akradia adwumeko eneli apene game pack games akradia iso wonni fiadu nwatwe a wontimi nto akradia yi fanyansa to akradia Big 4 from Game Pack Games. More moolah, more power.
Football isn't just a game, it's a feeling. And with GoTV, no feelings will be spared. Feel the frustration.
And it's over.
And feel the ecstasy of victory. Nobody nobody but GoTV gives you all games of La Liga and Serie A and the Premier League and UEFA games that matter. Get a GoTV decoder and 1 month super subscription for only 249 cedis and get front row seats to the new football season, cause it be football overload. GoTV. Love it.
Hey, media, semi kotija wujum, ama semi ko salon akoye miti. Empo, me fili me tank ne me nafufu tu kwanya kukurufufu biswa. Se ye bisa me se me de card na cash ne veti aka. Me momu se, media, abribia eye card. Me fa cash into adie biyo. Me de Mastercard ene tuya me kenyina. Se si adie, me ye bribia me niji huwa hutu. Ao, how bia renim. Ane, jai cash na semano. Na fa Mastercard tuya wo niyama bia wo beton hoka. Mastercard, ekwaya ye faso tuya niyoma hoka.
The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. On Sunday, the 27th of August, 2023, at 4 p.m., come join Perez Music as he presents the second edition of Glorified, a spirit-filled worship concert. This year's theme is Grace and Mercy. Ministering with Perez Music are Pastor Joe Piche, Cindy Thompson, and Cece Bedu. The venue is the Victory Bible Church International, Dominion Sanctuary, Awoshi. Rate is absolutely free. Come join us as we lift our voices in worship, for indeed, if not by the grace and mercies of God, where will we be?
Da.
Yes.
Sabroso olive oil no. Anti bi se o mami o.
Sense hunti.
Enso de bi ye aduane won the kitchen ho.
No one can chance me if you ram sma o. Besene e bia no ntimi ankyere mu ye. Anti bi.
Yes, if you ram ni.
Sabroso olive oil ya wo de ye aduane de ya wo ma me bi. Enye na wo bi a wo de chi nam no.
Anne, e ye sabroso olive oil. Se eno na me de aduane ma me busuafo.
Sabroso enye no na free olive plant mo no.
Anne, wo a onim.
Na me baba e kire se ne boyfriend say won fa sabroso olive oil no abi na mfa nye aduane mre no na hwie wo de akoto no bi ma no na wo sese no
efiewura aden asema wuken sini wanum
me
ewura waso won penatwe a koto wo sabroso oil ebe ye waduane enye na supermarket any shops mu etufo nko Mikado Pharmacy Limited any Elhams Pharmaceuticals Limited for 0501 471 882 and 0270 010 078. Da, it's what Gina Hama tenant akasa wanim sa.
What betmenka?
FDA aji ejudi nkratoyi atum.
So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace.
My name is Diana Hamilton, VGMA Artist of the Year 2021 and brand ambassador of Awake Purified Drinking Water. I am super excited to partner with Ghana's first charity-driven water to give back to our communities. Awake is a brand that makes a difference. We impact the world around us. That is why for every bottle of Awake water you buy, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. Yes, every time you quench your thirst with a refreshing bottle of Awake, you're helping contribute to save lives. So keep drinking Awake Purified Drinking Water and let's continue making a difference. Awake Water, one for life, supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace.
My name is Diana Hamilton, VGMA Artist of the Year 2021 and brand ambassador of Awake Purified Drinking Water. I am super excited to partner with Ghana's first charity-driven water to give back to our communities. Awake is a brand that makes a difference. We impact the world around us. That is why for every bottle of Awake water you buy, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. Yes, every time you quench your thirst with a refreshing bottle of Awake, you're helping contribute to save lives. So keep drinking Awake Purified Drinking Water and let's continue making a difference. Awake Water, one for life, supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
frano Big 4 free game pack games no edi. Waya akradia ne tuni ni die nya den kra. The number ahodwa and 930 kosi 9 impressa de biara na beka yen kunum difu ane ho. Wo betu mi atowo abefon kratwabia www.gamepackgames.com ana ubebo star 946 hash. Wawo phone so na wo dia toman akradia adwumeko eneli. Apene game pack games akradia iso. Woni mfia du nwatwe a wontimi nto akradia yi fa nyansa to akradia. Big 4 from Game Pack Games. More mula, more power.
Usika seme nkoyiana quick credit siasia se sika pe enna fom intina yabasa ye be cheche wo yembosia bonhyehyɛ ye ho wutumi babosia edifi asoa ye 3500 Ghana cedis edeko na ne wo hia ne wo national ID card wo hia sa wo betu susu wo hia awowa ye ngiseke bia nto ho wo nsanso hia se wo ne yembe bue futuo bia quick credit ewo homao say ye dwana wo pese wudi ana wo pese wo hye ejuma fofrase ana say ye school fees ana po eyeye wo sumi ejuma ye fo nso ye wo bi mamo na mom kai say ye mobosua ewo internet so afen so omantika krobia batan Bank of Ghana nsa wo dwumedie yi mu enti tutumri kana freyen wo 0302 200 390 ana 0596 920 833 quick credit London made simple. Kai said Jumedie yin shishaye kakra wo ho.
Senya unsio hautie biaro. We hear Syntax tanko. Free say Syntax tank to me jine ewiem sakra ye bia. Empire ne bono so ye kama say. Unim say Syntax tank ne di kan ye double ya tanko Ghana. Unim so say Syntax tank Korea ene di kan ye tank emu da hokai. Emu fite. Na say si adie ubetimi akire size, color, type biara wo pe. Syntax tank beyama na ni nyine chino. Ekita 7 years warranty o. Wonpewe na wo pe dien. Frakra e 0244 335 168 Kumasi 0505 555 666 Syntax tank emu da hokai. Syntax tank you strong and you tough.
Oniadofo, would you a money sike free amanone? And now one a woman sika kwa amanone. Any beka customers and pimpima. Won wini a chedia one swo Access Bank a chedia promo no mono. Abribia bebewura Access Bank nkrabata BM. Eko disika money hu dwumabia a free 500 Ghana cedis ekro. Wo betumi win surprises a hudo no mu bi. Se Western Union and money gramba wutrimu a. Ma Access Bank mbra wutri. Se wa man sika nso beto Access Bank account mu direct dia. Eye free. Freto free 0800 004400. Access Bank, more than banking.
A bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you.
Koyiana quick credit siasia se sika pe enna fom intina yabasa ye be cheche wo yembosia bonhyehyɛ ye ho wutumi babosia edifi asoa ye 3500 Ghana cedis edeko na ne wo hia ne wo national ID card wo hia sa wo betu susu wo hia awowa ye ngiseke bia nto ho wo nsanso hia se wo ne yembe bue futuo bia quick credit ewo homao say ye dwana wo pese wudi ana wo pese wo hye ejuma fofrase ana say ye school fees ana bo eyeye wo sumi ejuma ye fo nso ye wo bi mamo na mom kai say ye mobosua ewo internet so afen so omantika krobia batan Bank of Ghana nsa wo dwumedie yi mu enti tutumri kana freyen wo 0302 200 390 ana 0596 920 833 quick credit It's London made simple. Kai said, Media in Shishaka Crow.
Jim FM.
Another guilty beat.
Radio it's a CCM wow macho. Oh yeah. Radio it's a CCM wanga so macho. Oh yeah. Adom 106.3. 106.3. 106.3. Adom FM. One tell you what. Catch your man. Adom FM. One tell you what. Adom FM.
Jim FM 106.3.
Only God can stop us now. 106.3 FM.
Jim FM 106.3. Tough.
Radio it's a CCM wow macho. Oh yeah. Radio it's a CCM wanga so macho. Oh yeah.
It's 8:37 here in the studio. Baby, I will be on my watching ABO. Well, a few dedications here. We say happy birthday to Sechi Krum Marina Hene Nana Techi Akomia the first. Nana Double. Happy birthday to you, Sechi Krum Marina Hene Nana Techi Akomia. And then, Honorable Obobia Dakupoku, and then Nawoda, happy birthday to you.
Oh, my baby, you're a queen. Compliment me as a king.
And I want to say a special glorious birthday to Rachel Obenewa Esihene in the UK. God bless her richly with abundance of grace, favor, and long life. From her father, Nana Esihene in the UK, now at Achimbegro. Intino Rachel Obenewa Esihene. Oh, Papa, Nana Esihene, or say Yanko Powuncha, non to Quandem. On to Quandem.
Because me to one baby is deep. Happiness, yeah.
2023 Charlotte Street Carnival no Baso and Charlotte Street Art Festival. Na afie de no ebe sonko kra esense Joy Prime, Joy FM, and afi other multimedia group platforms. Ye nyina ye ka ho. Enti wa wodim say de ho ahyemu de. Na say it's on another level. It's on another level. So this colorful annual festival of sights and scenes treats thousands of revelers to rich African heritage, art, dance, street painting, graffiti, murals, and you name it. Enti brana febe kanye ho. Afie de ne be so nkokra. Eshase enra na make us say uko usua honum ehuru eshase enra etwema to the 27th of August 2023. Join us, let's have fun. Badjafo atena say in fact so far ba kuna mensaka no Minia lawyer Tumberima, who is a member of the national communications team for the NDC, lawyer Tenase. Share Honorable Ebenezer Gilbert Nina Nate, former MP Ablikuma Central. And to be honest, about the kind home. Okay, just stay with us on Facebook. Na fe comment to hono na yenje brena yen kenkan emfa emmao lawyer
CJ
boko de
de aka ne de wai
na say ye na say ye ana probably do ham tempo
sound time is of essence. What is it?
Yeah,
and you know, one can so one and traffic is.
I see.
We train here.
Fantastic, fantastic. Honorable Ebenezer, and then I mean who said Nidin Gilbert Kahun. Honorable Gilbert Ebenezer Nina Nati.
Me grana ubo full name Gilbert. No kana mi hunba. Ura mu answer mu oh. Na sana me amini pe edin na mo won tin.
Honorable Ebenezer Gilbert Nina Nati. Honorable Vivian Wako.
Anyame gisu sra me.
Na Gilbert na dey see sir because and then me call unim say me call Wikipedia, Google, and I'm a boy, and I'm who said Gilbert, and I'm saying, since when?
You see diplomatically.
I see, so we have a code.
Nyame Adom.
And I pay me to train Komobi, and I think that we should. I'm saying about the Bank of Ghana issues now. SITAG, one more strike here, one more since August 1. Colleges of Education Teachers Association. Yeah. And Rakata FE. In fact, it's a.
I want an education doesn't matter.
Yeah, main to Amoka.
Okay, we visit our number just. Okay.
So almost started a strike, 1st of August. And then said the whole of the month of August, and Nadia Omakwe Juma.
Nadia Mom course striking your daddy.
I don't see him come over.
I mean, yes, one.
What to say for me? No, Bisa say, and I don't know.
What is it? So, before they went to a cabin, we need to first of all know, say, again, I don't call strike because strike there, you have to come away. Before in the sector, maybe I want to do the strike near and come. But before I say other sectors, you be able to make a strike. CJ, there's always a rationale or some kind of reason. Yeah, exactly. A cause for it. You know, we need to first of all know the interim question. What reason anything?
In fact, why wouldn't him say association be because Sikasem?
Abandonka. And then into tomorrow more pay. A kai actually. Now the engagement doesn't have no
Sir, there was an appeal from National Labour Commission. Senka wamo enkwejumana wamombra table no.
You see, CJ, that is one of our problems. And then Bibia now also woman pani two and we answer I don't agree with that. So what here
yes.
I don't know what transfer because a woman but consulate me ejuma. As my first brand entrance answer. I mean, does that make sense? To me it doesn't. Sabai yatikrumo will be abandoned the beer abandoned me gaza when external internal when will be ordinary kabia. There are records to prove it. E wo Mr. Serbia na bu ana mekọ ne enko no kwante bia na hodene ni wabade mo immediately. But set woni won kasa bia sije. Man kasa ne mna sa nipa na tiatua. Labour Commission. And no na motive say go for your strike. These people before say they will go on that strike. They first of all send signals. But no more can. Abaya anye say my bosum we mu be say. Abaya go say we be say. It is a car wo hold da. Edian. I am pushed to believe sir you from saying
SITAG
that be the Labour Commission
yeah.
I aware say na by this group we eka. Number 2, abaya na mu so ya was on no so dem grofo bi so ka. Aya hin for one more year come as some SITAG for yi. But my point is I don't know say me trans CJ ka tell me say and na me madwuma na mpa CJ madwuma. And son I be a director of operations so costume name na obi na maybe a program manager afro CJ with the brand entrance na we see kasam yenka. Didn't you know that you're owing somebody? Okay, I'm not saying sir I mean strike don't have an effect. on the job, on the people are
the students now.
Exactly. It will have an effect on them. Yeah, na hadwene. Maybe it has hadwene bi besi bia no. A delay because when say at the ceremony by line no because by line the person trying to say like what you say ebia na me school me try ebia quantitative matters what na me ebia because ebia statistics so they say enti say wa manu a say man nyina no
syllabus now they
so that's so it delay one gasa na mu timing in the school it delay academic calendar na delay bibia so one effect but until now was here say so how be wo in between time bra nipa na adwuma no a yempe kwan bi so no mo nka na ma yen twen enya reactive people. That is one of our biggest problem in this country. You react to situations so you're proactive. You twen amadeni jigu hwe ensuo se made bi ensuo yiri yensije ye ba twen ensuo na yidanse na ka so say gata we kwani entete mu nja fe ensuo yiri yewie na amanfo ne ma say you fe na gata se na ye ma contract so bi nkoyim. Meanwhile, you da bia na ye haw no deda. Sitafo no amu no ye besrew. Sa anya bia no mu bia na mu bi no mu a e bia mu nuanom bi mu fa asefuo bi mu ma bi e was that system no mu a wo mo twen mo age mo nsam nimde ne nyansa. Ye besrew. Said the audio could be and woman say media from all that you are saying and as I'm saying, I don't think so by not first of all taking that step to engage you. Name over training say yentia training as an affair by for us a brand entrance and also be could be for us a brand entrance.
So we get a proper understanding into I'm called my joy online.
All right.
I'll say now what I say already normal sounding warning and sign a first of August.
It's possible. Yeah.
Okay, the colleges of education the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana SITAC has served notice to the of their intentions to withdraw services effective August 1, 2023.
Okay, where date be?
10th July. 2023. So Monday, 10th July 2023.
I must say they have served, which means that was I won't come even before that date.
Yeah.
I mean, from the as a channel.
Their decision follows the non-compliance of government to implement the National Labour Commission's arbitral award orders and the negotiated conditions of service since May 2nd, 2023.
Negotiated conditions of service. Not to say any abandoned the can't translate this. I was ordered that. As you know.
Yeah.
Ya transact kente boom aban ba kire de on na ho odi betimi e bia sanda emprepi no ubeko na de wo je ndi aban so de makwa nhia e bia wo mposo bia wo 20% aban se e bia me bottom ni bibia no a 10% ana bia metimatua so the negotiations ne ba when parties me enu hia na kete wo mu a twetwetwetwe na abesi ba bi so okay wo de 20 no de metimi a 12 na bia 12 na mpa na ban ja was metua from dancing. So, having done all these things with them, maybe I'm very certain, sir, after the negotiations, we were indicating when I was starting implementing.
In fact, way by Obeka January, all 46 colleges of education in one more strike.
Okay.
Nana conditions of service.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
I
yes.
Good. And fiancia until July almost say notice one. Until I said the American and person one can win in China minimum.
Fantastic.
And any idea make us begin one mention. I don't you see Saturday we are bambia one problem. And it's not the right thing. Utu any question there. Abambia was Saturday one problem. From past to present. Ya twenya ya ye bibia nsese ye bi na bibia sia se na fe woni ye dimlika ana wan ye se ne bo na fe ne na court ya kopa injunctions. I mean it doesn't help. CJ let's be a bit proactive as citizens, as people in charge of authorities.
Debiano Esiansana, National Labour Commission, Labour laws, Abetitro, one quadjuma, Ebeyuedi, one quadjuma, Ministry of Education,
those are reactive measures. And your proactiveness and your reactive steps are buying. Yes, sir. You are there to serve us. Yentina wo. And this is why we no want transition in Konya. I intend to a certain agreement there. CJ, so when be a better cross and to implement it. The rational thing to do is to communicate to them. If you are buying catch them, say, oh, may you move yes at ABCD. But if you are and my back me be say na sie ahode ne etimi ma say na ye expect no it be etimi mfra sie me no say de kan it be am ya bere communicate to them and before say akwada ne nsem hye enye hye na sometimes adibu obe pedin wo sun din kasa ba kubi ba ka chen don't worry that is going to buy for you in the next minute no yes e bi zuka na wunya kwa na
wunya wadun kasa obeto
say what you say there's always 1,001 ways to kill a cat. And it's a brand new soon you no pay your negotiations and agreement no na munya ho de nimpo financially communicate to them. Don't wait to always the last thing happens before you come in and start applying laws that you knew say I mean what you were doing was also wrong. And what I mean that is my position anyway. But
and a payment Prince obeying him sitak for president. No. Maybe say no question say who say in fact trim so even as at last Friday na omo members no kasa say na be ya and Tuesday ombekwaduma until Friday no kra no na enka omo minister were meeting in person face to face meeting but na mreni nti omo share omo head office wo Kumase until omo throw letter ema minister say akoma omo nya meeting no online. So be our members no fi other colleges of education in no physical no betime take part. So letter no manya response. Any say nra juada Katawi ebaye fiada no
enra fiada asem
and then nansa fiada last week Friday
I know letter sell it and ministry okay you see me my ministry pen there I mean say e bimpa na minister na cited that letter on that Friday say ko Friday na dia. Okay, it's possible to be a minister and boys later on the Friday. Because I'm prepping the many who are having worked in the minister's office before. No, let us say by in a day. No, CJ, you have no idea. It's most of the time that day, the politics now I want to be receiving. When you heard my that same day, it be a no idea by no. Obey what man ramp be obey like a no idea and a second. Sorry, obey what might be an hour. Because and yet I mean numerous letters. Comes to the ministry or to the minister. It is a Friday and a coin and that was said a word to a young Kodma dia. Na and right wada and nebna. Then I wish or I let me just presume say I do you might have seen or we let him pa a be an open letter to be and run okay. And you know
it's possible.
I wanted the
it's possible.
I mean I need to pardon the minister say it's like a quantum dia I would have blamed him.
Okay.
But having seen Sebi on Friday and a quiet day, let's give him that.
And then there was another issue, Asanamako, Honorable Honum, on who has the power to freeze salary. Maybe Sir Prince, not say. Some minister no to me order.
Send your employer. I mean, your employer has the right to
and
do that.
In this case, the employer
is the government.
He feels that National Labour Commission per Labour Act, no, Labour law, no, and they work right. So because this group of people may into Omoka, but coming from the minister, they feel.
I mean, Labour Commission can only make a recommendation to government to implement the decision. Because Labour Commission, you're not forward money to your you are paid by your employer. This is one of our money.
And in this case, the Ministry of Education.
Moreover, your salary doesn't come through your
Labour Commission.
Commission, exactly. And that comes through another angle of government, which is the accountant general.
Controller.
I know.
That way is addressed to the controller.
Correct. You see it. So, you know, education ministry now one because on also drink and the controller and accountant general should not do what? Pay your salary with one.
Yeah.
So that's like, but you know, CJ, and Penisa Chianimuye. Sir, I bind you to myself. One net, sir, and a queer commercial a dink tahubi, a year January, February, baby. But Pumadia. And as they rightly indicated that is a year okay, you know, they have gone into some kind of negotiations. And CJ, from my experience as a lawyer, once you go into negotiations, you always end that negotiation with some kind of agreement. Say you best share to again. A genesis and say poor yes ni A B C D and ABC from maybe other thing. A genesis musi and this. Once you expect them to perform their functions, once you are mandated by a certain agreement or certain laws to do something, once you are and come and compel me to do mine when you are failing to do yours. It is wrong. It is wrong.
Adom 106.3 FM lawyer Chumbaima and yet Nenkano honorable.
CJ.
My member Hona this issue. SITAC strike and the current situation I say you hold on and I freeze on August salary. Honorable.
CJ, my main for Akunya when Sunamenchia 84. Na menchia my constituents, the good people of Ablekuma Central constituency, this party for our constituency, from the polling station to the constituency executives, electoral area coordinators, council of elders and patrons, and the entire constituency, Michia Obia. Mamenfa akonya we so na me congratulate me moderator elect Reverend Dr. Abraham Oparekwachi last week and your General Assembly ewe BTF and your copao no as a new moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And Papa, I wish you well. In your 6 years as a moderator, no, we believe strongly, sir, there's going to be a lot of transformation in the Presbyterian Church. Having worked with you for some years when you were the youth coordinator and I was also a youth executive, no, meaning what he's capable of doing. And I believe strongly, sir, most of the youth in the church, everybody was so happy to have him as our new moderator. So I congratulated him. And also, outgoing moderator, Joy Mante, and also Abebo Ejuma. So I wish him also well. CJ, Obia Enuha Ejuma, there's no Ejuma for service if their condition of service they'll be happy. I remember it has already been once Amate said doctors Ewo Kolebu Echo strike, not because of their salary, not because of your friend is saying say omupe increment, not because of anything that will be benefiting them, but rather no na omu here equipment omu de be ye juma ewo Kolebu Teaching Hospital. So because of those things are any huntino, they decided to go on strike. Say yes, utia ye kadie. Nyeye hwenum as doctors no ye from the odemaye. But omunti ye wo ejuma hemu a bed any ho.
Akadia ye be ejuma no
any ho. So enu so de ye den ye tu hu anamo. And for me, I think say it is not all the time we will look at ejuma uye no ehun fasa unya. But there's also so say ejuma na me ye no so ahu akandie be na me de den me ye ejuma no. From what you just read, it means College of Education teachers no. They are omupe bibi if you are buying ho. And then omupe akutia intumu. And now omupe conditional service out. Send a be omube here. And in recent time, no, most of the friends are buying juma. Obi are raising concern about the condition of service. Because looking at senior or minor across the say. Inflation, no akoso and all those things. Obi feel so when you increase my salary, it will also help me. So for me, I think that it is a right call. It is their responsibility. Say BB their institution now, they have every right to talk about it. They have every right to ask government because una wa from ejumamu. It is one from ejumamu na market nya. In fact, even with private, your friend is saying organizations scrap no, they also demand for increment of your friend is saying of their salary. So I think that it is their right. But you see, sometimes no engagement is very important. Say menu echo your friend is saying in Kitamudie,
yes,
and we come into compromise, and you decided to ignore the decision that we are taking a hanker for.
Yes.
The point they say, this issue at Labor Commission, from what you just read, meaning that there has been a decision taken at Labor Commission.
Yes.
What was the decision they take here? The increments are more penal, as government agreed, because say who call Labor Commission now they have Labor Commission for ewo. Your fair wages and salary structure for so ewo. They also have finance for because at the end of the day, whatever Labor Commission for be can who asem no and answer may immediate no. It stops at the president the finance ministry or the government. Because on to be called immediate mame can change okay you mate Muslim pay 5,000 mamu. At the end of the day, who now be saying and you're not betia. Buying any to the finance ministry na eden ebetia. So government also need to look at it and say yes. I agree with your friend is saying the increment that you are talking about. But will I get that money? So we first need to know, sir, what was your friend is saying, near far away by Muko Labor Commission, no, DNA free mobile. And when the government decided to start, if government has agreed, say, increments that Ben are buying no say, we need to know that. Because you cannot just jump into conclusion, say, Minister for Education say, oh, what trauma controller, yen freezy or more salary, which for that one, personally, I think it is too harsh on that. The point of call is say, when Omoko Labor Commission, what was the decision? The Labor Commission, any finance ministry for I agree say, increments no amamwana, I debi. Okay, say amamwa. I increase the amamo 20%. When is the 20% taking effect? Is it in the month of August, or in the month of September, or in the month of October? We need to know, because until say Ubehu Sadia no, it will be extremely difficult, extremely, to tell you say oh abaya jatuma nasa abaya the engine to me. But you see, CJ. Say a school echo strike and as a teachers for echo strike in a various schools, sir, it affects the students and also omomubedi chiraba. Let's pre-assume for almost 1 month and some muncha there.
Yeah.
So students in now fear. So when they come back, let's pre-assume they are coming back this month. Because say and what you we busum new.
Yeah.
Unyanka kwa na busino na eti akarambwa.
Oye prophet.
It affects the academic calendar. Because some 1 month on my it might be that they will be vacating in September. So if say 1 month, that means someone show exams here. So they have to go back in September and go and write their exams. So and yes, in September, I say October, I say December, 1 month of lecturing, no, as I say already, you have to go back. So even if you have to start lectures at 6, now you're going to start at 4 because, as I said, the Amasheno, Musa Eden, Musa Eden, Eka. 2, it also affects the students when it comes to their national service. Because, Sese Minuka say, next month, they are going to start national service. So, move to me and year exams. You cannot be part of a more burden on service, no. So, meaning that, more catchy, that your friend is saying, that's called. It also affects the timetable of the school. Not only more your friend is saying, final year, but it will start even from first year, including those who have even applied. So, it will also affect them. So, it is something that I believe strongly say, as a matter of urgency, the Ministry of Education, the Labor Commission, any your friend is saying training teachers no CITAC no.
Yeah.
It is a matter of education. I mean, they should need to meet as soon as possible to resolve the issue, because I don't think say Labor Commission no between September ya mwaba betra si ya kasem ya no ne ya kase ebia your friend is saying munji musika na munkoko ejuma. Then the last thing, you raise an issue of say they wrote to the ministry, say they want to meet the Minister of Education.
In fact, the ministry agreed. I have that letter here because CITAC members need it. I want to read out that letter.
Okay.
Now, this letter is dated 18th August 2023. 18th Friday, no?
Last week Friday.
Last week Friday.
Yes.
Okay. And addressed to the president, CITAC Kumase, invitation to a meeting. So this letter is from the minister. To CITAC, say Asia meeting, but okay. I write at the instance of the Honorable Minister for Education to cordially invite the leadership of CITAC to a meeting to discuss the implementation of the arbitral award by the National Labour Commission to your union. Date, Monday, 21st August 2023. Enra. Venue, Ministers Conference Room. Time 10 a.m. Your attendance at this meeting will be highly appreciated. Thank you. Professor Yaira Jakaji, PhD, Director for Tertiary Education for the Honorable Minister. Enti Weina.
So and yes, that for net show.
Beba. Enti Weina. Sitak for no so say. Omako shemu kumase. Ama mo members ni bebre. Omo konti. Say bi besa so free North, maybe a College of Education in the Asabano. They propose that they meet.
Meeting.
Now, in Chema, say, what would this proposal? Minister, the pay, and what Sitak members need be what's up to say, Minister Nebufu, say, online saying, my mom invitation, some money in your meeting, most of more my excuse, some per online.
Okay,
and that's a send runner.
I get you.
Or they Katano, Eba.
And the one, my main question was 1 second. I said, bro, who prompted him on that statement?
Yeah.
It was you presume he said that letter.
Not clarity, no. Yeah.
Now, I said the request to meet them was rather they were rather meeting on Friday, which was last Friday.
Yes.
It's a because saying if the letter was sent on Friday, there's no
the likelihood who say be a minister
rather than say the other way around say the minister no na show one more Friday. Say you want to meet them
Enra, yes.
Okay. And now one minister was Sunday another such about Bonten say he's not paying them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that and okay, so you see, in that case, then my position changes. It changes, so now person will share me and right. Now, there are reasons. There are reasons in a way is quite reasonable. But said the training colleges, scattered.
Yeah.
Okay, so the old 10 regions in Impa scattered. If you are north, if you are west, if you are east, if you are one that day. Astronaut in that Nabiti, one going to Benara. And now one Ebesham will be a couple months and crying. I mean, it means that they should have even come to Accra or whatever by the weekend. Because one of you know for Bano, 8 mid Monday, I said maybe they are coming on flight or whatever. It is a woman can say, let's do it via Zoom or in the online medium, and they CJ and they may remember the Nigerian Association. MBA conference I end this year, physically. But I'm joining by Zoom. What does it cause Abuja? Matraya, Adrian be Amana. So just because I crashed with some days of other programs. Yeah, and you know, so I mean, I don't see why the minister will say so or no a film for meeting, no. Woman jam in physical, no one more request for Zoom, no, it is wrong. And I say, be no intimate no money. I mean, for him, Crampody, having live abroad in that, the same way I did as a court in a very simple manner. So what does CJ? And that is a command challenge. I mean, and running every day. Okay. And catch it. I mean, ma on for before and reacted to distance.
Okay. Take let her now sit up for Chokoma minister. No. So I'm meeting
online.
It's also here.
And
18th August 2023. The same day now.
I'm receiving
minister. Let me read this paragraph. We would, however, be grateful if you could let us have this meeting online via Zoom. After the National Labour Commission's meeting on Wednesday, the leadership of SITAC met at our National Secretariat in Kumasi to engage with other structures of the union. The invite The invite came at a time the officers were in transit returning to their respective stations, making it practically impossible
to return
for them to physically return to Accra on Monday 21st August 2023. We should therefore be glad as a matter of convenience to honor the meeting online at a time convenient to you on the same day.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this request is just reasonable to ask. So what I say? Nadia said, "I did do a baby boy." And I said, "We hear me, me here." And Nadia no. Who here? One woman here. It's your band. Sana CJ. You for patapanka. I on no board. But what Roma? A band say no. You for patapanka. Who here? One woman here. Until you for trend and Nintias and Casana. Yet net means CJ back. Now we interest now when it means mom's interest on
that's honorable Ebenezer to assume now of
CJ the
but my main guy for say you know Atik okay one man akwa I think it's saying yeah say remember also remember
CJ
yeah
the point is say I'm a little bit worried and surprised about the letters now Obiachocho. The ministry wrote the letter to them on the 18th. They respond to the letter on the 18th. At what time? And letter, no, and at what time they responded to the letter. Tell us, lawyer, it might be say Educhum has not received his letter. Even if he have said, I'm pastor also I received the letter. I think say the call from your friend is saying Sita Fonoso is right call. Say Ebia, yen to me and Xiao physically. But rather we can meet you via Zoom. So we can have a discussion.
Yes.
And the lawyer can, you know, for during the COVID, all our meetings, most of our meetings, everything was done via Zoom.
Yeah.
But maybe the minister also feels so meeting you in person. So, Bema, I don't think this thing should drag both the ministry and then because I know Educhum too well. And I know him not to be a very difficult person. I know him not to be somebody a friend or semu. In as man say he will say the thing just as it is. I know very well say from this response, no, I will not be surprised. Maybe his decision that he has written to controller, no, he will consider his decision and invite Sita Fono to have an amicable discussion and then they can move on.
That's it. I think.
I mean.
Mama akwanya na so sitag
we dem zeminuanum no aka nsem ni nyina nti me foaso and yonko the next issue no so I mean akituo hu nsem de ade I hadwene I mean uye juma because you want to be compensated for juma uye no nti issues of compensation and employee compensation there I hadwene but you can't blame them for demanding more. And our demanding says you can say mom. Abansu is also in dire straits. And usually it's very important to munina bedin kitahu na omehu the middle line. And for me, I usually don't support and encourage the idea of taking entrenched positions because issues of compensation will be there are functions of negotiations. And you can't always go to a negotiation table with entrenched position. It means you are not coming to negotiate.
Yeah.
You are coming to either impose or demand. And as Anna, usually you have a deadlock, you have a stalemate. Until either party should consider, making flexible or more positions. And we can, move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Medase, I think Mohammed Medase Panti. Yambra other issues are a war. Ponono so minority in parliament at the Atuja, in fact, and September 5th, and almost staged demonstration against the Bank of Ghana governor. And Dr. Ernestadi says also Edin Chirimu Ebai, the Akoso Bank of Ghana Honum, the losses are umumeki, and then the justification for the new Bank of Ghana head office. Yeka say Arise Ghana for also Edi Wamuho Ashe picketing no more ebi and a permanent rexoma etuchemu and commodity. Yam boxing into one topic. Nafi Ivia Yanko Electoral Commission and also matters. Lawyer, Mamisha Sim free also on this one.
Okay. CJ. Mamini Kama Obi, Ubon this and then birthday.
Yeah.
I saw it. Not Obi as in Obi as Obi. Yeah.
Okay. But nonetheless.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you, Obi. She's a very nice lady.
So there's only one Obi that we know.
That you know. Okay, anyway, send clarify.
But there are only two Obi. Obi Amwa
and Obi Obasepa.
And there are three Obis.
Okay, there are three Obis now.
Adom Obi.
Adam's Obi.
Yeah.
No.
Asempani kayo.
No, there's another Obi in this. Obi.
Yeah. Anyway, so and happy birthday, Nkomano. Nyango Ponshano. Anyway, so CJ, BOG Nsem aba bebre ya born bin kumunifa etifini atoye. Atwetwe begina enema e course the year 2022 Bank of Ghana ni dwumadie mu. Na omudwumadie mu na abeto dwa se eka aba na kana ba ye no nima enya de ba ako na de kana ba enma bebre na wo mo ankasa report na site ye ebi currency depreciation say no nkwan about 5.27 billion old cedis ebi vehicle maintenance ebi foreign travels ebi DDEP enu nkwan ba bebre na enu na mfa bebre no ado adwen asisu ka se enma ne bia mo bodi no it sounds a bit unconscionable in the sense for instance foreign travel vehicle maintenance CJ almost the 131.6 million na year vehicle maintenance the year 2022. I don't even know how to quote that money in old cities. Car maintenance 131.6 million cedis. Okay, it doesn't make sense at some point. Omaya yesi kasam sabita frache enyina na naso omaya yesi kasam na nam so ntikadi akopie IMF na ye hwe se IMF bituma boya so sum kakra akram yetna gina na naso na se sabre na mu no ana ye kopie IMF kampo nchan mo no sige ye wesi sika senya. Do you think it's reasonable? Okay, do you think it's reasonable? Again, within that same period, name where Yakopa Mwafro being crying China, yes, Yenibino. Yakopa Mwafro being China. Your central bank is spending 97.4 million on foreign and domestic travels. Edian Kwara. CJ. Edian Kwan and if I'm going to Mokoy. Nadian Kwan Mokoy Babu Gan and Tia. Mu says at the time one be idea that of mine are buying post at some point one where I mean reckless in spending post or cutting the cost. Finance minister I know what I say. Or training maybe just a balance what it's in the name of Bishop. And that is the time of most more reckless spending. Now another point ever be see a danya almost a year head office. I almost see. In the Kenya and once I'm to Jano. Almost in the by. Ninchirimu on the bar and be neko we say, oh, I never couldn't buy more and more copper down for an supposed to sit down for a crown. Say, baby, I'm one no dan prone to say earthquake or say whatever. I'm saying, Nasa saying as we do, and I say, yeah, at the with the other bar, say, bit of a chance more. Because baby, I'm more than the same, and you won't come more than the sea as an entity. And I say, be any monosono, must be any Freddy about your bank and happy. So your mentis have quick be as your madam be a boat to go. Okay, and who's dying didn't know by a yastic and as an argument, can say, would dine be a Motiano, F quick bar, a piano down edgy, and be a mamma more cover before and some move away from there. Forgetting that behind you, commercial bank headquarters was head office. I want to see. Beside you, Supreme Court and all other courts, is you. NL for headquarters or head office, whichever way you call it. Now we're around this same enclave. Formerly, even AM office, from former office, I say, one of you are back to the baby. I want to see. So all these things are surrounding you, and yet say we move be a complaint. Say, earthquake issues was that area until we need to move them out from there. So what I say, it is what the justification about saying nothing happens. Question down for and that's
let me source this story from Business and Financial Times online. Bank of Ghana's new office for earthquake safety justified. The acting director general of the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, Isaac Nwimbele, has provided compelling reasons for the Bank of Ghana its headquarters from its present location to reach due to seismic concerns. Mr. Nwimbele emphasized the need to prioritize structural safety in an earthquake-prone region during an interview with the GBC. And let me quote him. The recent tremor that occurred in Jamestown, which is in close proximity to the current Bank of Ghana location, serves as a wake-up call. Although we haven't seen tremors here, the risk cannot be ignored, Mr. Nwimbele stated. No.
CJ.
Lawyer.
What's the internet achieve there? Yeah, engage market to
me too.
Yeah, F tremor, idea. Momodi anahwe mo tie for Accra.
Okay, earth tremor. I just checked, Bamenhwe. Disorder that causes tremors, and okay, earth tremor
is basically shaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
An involuntary quivering movement.
Just shaking. So,
as a slight earthquake.
Exactly.
These are the meanings I'm getting.
Comparatively, earth tremor, earthquake, earth tremor. In simple terms, if I make some kind of secondary school geography, earthquake, earth tremor. The earth tremor on any day.
Earthquake, I know a ding.
Earthquake, I know a ding. Earthquake, the three wood dang, earth tremor, wood dang. Tini, earthquake, the three wood dang to go. A beautiful, a been a sea, what taking. Tremor, wood dang, where was so. Kakra, it does very fun. Make my secondary school days at the opening. ABC. After more back a crowd with the land as a land, I was in Kakra, the chum coin some seconds, been a co. A best thing. And you know, dying too. But it's a one more justification put near the then in your own country by and say, all those complexes now one arm me boarding and in a buying institutions, then we should move them from there. Because after more, the bar and can be your jip. Sige, and can be your jip. A back come more assassinating now. They are all in a way less than 100 meters enclave. Supreme Court. Even the court of appeal, no minister had with the same enclave. Circuit course, no minister. High Court complex, and the new one, the Musi, all those buildings around the commercial bank for head office, and got there right behind Biojimpo. And the any was only and you in the free. Not even your quantum because going central market and the class of one square few. I Rollins Park, and this was a few meters away from them. Because the trauma will not just happen at the Bank of Ghana building and leave them alone. Say, if it is that dangerous, justification now by my sister and Tassomo. I'm telling you. And Tassomo still. You can write to support them. I don't have any problem. Because we're your area. But the Americans said, after more Nadia, a young who said, a dime be at this, I was a move a few. No, it's not true. Check me any difference, never already. Look at the difference between earthquake and then earth tremor. Which one is more severe? I was you qualify for such kind of recommendations. And sister, but what do you look at to Jazzy? One more documenter, one paper and raw the Bible thing. One more can send baby for 1990. Saying the 90s in the Musi, I saw some new head office in one and would be by 2012. Woman allocation, been allocation, you can Minister of Foreign Affairs, one and farm, and an I know at Tikwadai, and one. So now, 2019, Tinu, December 18, 2019, a decision be taken a signal, yes, say, afraid yet, you initiating all proper process for the development of a new corporate head office or headquarters. 2019, December. Na for the decide is afraid if you na dey create the ayani 51 hwan nyina enye ye na yentu anamo bia na afraid you starting nyina afoforo akopa dan foforo de asiwo ti sabrem no na fe won start ye ana ne won boko afei won beduru say okay then won mo twino krata akoma PPA say won person won tender na so won be tender manfo de krata aba number chere ahode won mo botumi ade asi dan a won mo pe no e de ma won na fe won nam so e be mo contract na so won fankosi company ko on be yimo no on be nam so ma mo kwan se mo kunkosi asije won nam so e ko pesa ade no won mo si won use o kan won letter and approvals na one of the paragraphs will say the PPA by this letter dated 29th of January 2020 convey a board approval to Bank of Ghana, and this approval to use the shortlisted contractors. No, one more they can shortlist say 5 contractors. One more say 5 contractors not to do for restricted tender. But no, not what could be said. The number and a restricted tender. Will be section 38 of the BPA Act.
I'm aware.
You were bra. You used to restrict tender.
Yeah.
Sabra no be no justify. I'm telling you. That animal no section 38 ABC ni na list actually one. E mu be no justify na wo adim go esre won. Won try let any kwa no say PPA for no won de akoma won try amount of so mu use no. PPA won ka so mu use 100 million 850 $57,942.48 dollars. And no so use na PPA for no a share of minimum in a year. No more test so say 81 million and 81,888 nenkosi a dino. CJ. And now the source say without just any justification. Shadio. Say PPA for not to music and so and as a dino a born on our woman's own question. PPA for not to but one my justification be actually into a test. Now, okay, so you go by receive tender. What justification did you give? When you decided to go by receive tender, did you give any justification to your position? There are justifications to that. Did you cite any of them to buttress the entire also by that? Once at Mobiara, but also will be active who complain about that. Then you reckon say one more. Me found the very last part.
So
Me found the last part of it. Was it key design considerations? Was it the Central Tender Review Committee subsequently granted a concurrent approval for a revised scope of work at a cost of whatever $2,068 per meter square from on the 17th of January. And how do you know? I'm found called let be yes our committee now body action them out. Let us our committee can. Committee letter now say the committee reviews the Bank of Ghana's variations request at the 17th emergency sitting on Thursday 29th of December 2022. In a letter dated 30th of December 2022, the committee communicated concerns to BOG, which was responded to in a letter dated 5th of January 2022. Following a review of the response, the committee noted that the issues raised remained unsatisfactorily addressed. Now there's a name of a committee in a can want some Bank of Ghana. And see, woman, we are the brown woman. I'm Yanu and some of the Asia. Yeah. And touch more papa. No talk the cancer was saying. The BOG accordingly invited, and BOG was accordingly invited to a clarification meeting and was subsequently requested to submit the original contract documents, design proposals, differences in scope of work, and other relevant documentations on the project to facilitate the review of the request. At the 21st emergency meeting on Tuesday, 17th of January 2023, the committee reviewed the documentation submitted by BOG and noted the following. 1. Inadequate project design conceptions and preparations on original contract. That is number 1. Number 2, entirely new scope of design for the revised project. Now they said the only kind of come on now they have gone to change the whole thing. Committee who yes, so they were prompting them. Number 3 was say revised scope of work has already commenced prior to seeking approval from the Central Tender Review Committee, which shouldn't be the case.
But the governor says they followed all the necessary public procurement processes in this.
Let me myself to make for them on our. And I'm ready from the way letter. Okay, so who was you follow ya? They are telling you that you might be saying and then first, even before they even raise this, they are telling you say and no concerns raise it before you even came to them. No, you couldn't even address all the concerns. Oh, Pantama going. CJ, yeah, Pantama going for 2020-2022. As some of your Saban as you consider, CJ. Sabranusine Braga said December 2022. Yam Namoyed. Sabran IMF no one for blocking from the international market scene to Kobe. Sabran Nabania Brepe IMF deal. Bansu Niska. But Sabranusine Musman Yabre Passam Kotusika. Okay. Sabranusine and Musman Yabre some Mokotus Gatu. Meanwhile, 2019, I must say, as I for the money, Abraham Cosidano. Am I referee? February 2020. We decided December 2019. February 2020, World Bank won a Ghana said, year was our busy and Yabon was a man, but done a debt distressed country very soon if you don't borrow it. Lawyer, CJ, Minimum Kafra, Sifaman. That same 2020 name, na COVID, about in March. Ghana the first case, around first week of March.
12 March.
12 March, thank you. So second week of March, and then the name Aban would say no my fedu na Aban kro here sika from Monchan. Wo hwe instructions the ma Aban sika don COVID time bi wojimu kan. Officers have brand money bra you say dai. Why didn't you some amula tatimi aka say sa gina say na from 1990s na say ya nya da sigi ya nya da a bragan akwa hunye sabe ne bre ko sidan
la chumberma mamenda wase atik
that's it
mamembra ho na fi ni ko no abo Ebenezer
me that's it lady kind I'm sure for nyina
for Joso
na I mean Shasia and Kase issue by ye nyina ye kebi and ye kan at the time ana ye try adwin we did not have the full complement of information in nyina and sometimes it is normal say only information in nyina you express opinions based on your either with him na say information for ba I think that it is only proper say you revise your position.
Your opinion, yes.
What must say?
Yes.
And the Nyameke is a revised position, if you wish, and it's different from earlier position. Na me ekita, and it is in the light of the new information. Na niedi kind. The Bank of Ghana has incurred some losses, and in Chemuna eba na entwaso muna inshadan sisi and you know the Bank of Ghana did not help itself very much with the kind of communication now Omwankasa Edikain Deba, but I think the latest press conference by the governor no achichi muyi amanuma bededi, and if you care to read or more statement now ubeti nyema biasi na kanino unshada NTRC Minuya he spoke about the fact that currency depreciation accounted for or is one of the reasons Omuka said they incurred the losses they did. They also spoke about the fact that they also had to absorb some 50% haircut on their non-marketable bonds. When you know issues are as the reasons for the kinds of losses they incurred. And I've always made the point, sir, we need to deal with this phenomenon of fiscal dominance. Yet now Hona Finance Ministry ekoyo omunyoma na enkoya pressure by the central government is always invited to make some intervention one way or the other. And mimenya hukwaya kase in the past fiscal dominance used to take the form of using the central bank securities to raise revenue to finance government budgets. But this year ya kodru pempen subi kra say Ministry of Finance ana buying akọ or how bimunom peso mu free more. It was required said the central bank would have to also take some shockers. Nti enna ekahuna the losses are central bank incur no buy. But near me at the beginning I was alarmed. Then I'm saying, hey, this is the first time yehu BBC. But Omama Yatia says no. The central bank has always had issues and has experienced negative equity positions. And yet nene AC, but they've had that experience before, and yet once. And indeed, the latest even between 2017 and 2018, they had some experience, when they were doing sector cleanup, and a financial sector cleanup, And structural adjustment program, when we're undergoing some program, the central bank experienced similar situations. In when a show say Ghana and Kasano, your economy is not resilient enough to shocks. Anytime we have a major shock like pandemic, our economy tends to suffer a lot. Until when you now say, and look, if the central bank did not have the kinds of buffers or more, me sure say, anka ene aminu tiha ye kasi anka yetiha. Because Echo 2 amama bebre without the kinds of buffers now central bank one. Yeah. They ended up in coups and chaos in for Sri Lanka, for example. Yeah. Almost central bank could not even intervene to help Abine to reshape Nyama and to help the Ministry of Finance out. What he has said. But at least the central bank was in a position to help. But I have always made the point that the central bank should not be the one cleaning up the mess of the Ministry of Finance. But they had to make a decision. They had to make a judgment call. Yentina Fako, na yanka say, we dear Minister of Finance and manage the fiscal side of our economic policy. But they should deal with it. Our public debt is rising. Today are supposed to deal with it, even when they do not have the capacity. We needed some, policy reforms as a basis to get some injections from the IMF. And answer there are some preconditions you need. There are some conditions President will satisfy. One of it was to be able to reduce your debt ratio and your debt to GDP ratio no, to a certain reasonable threshold. And the projection was that it should be brought down to 55% by 2028. And the cover DDP and a who punk ne hekasa yedi man crofi nyina ba no. But ni the Minister of Finance still couldn't meet that threshold. Until now, something had to be done. And Central Bank they buy, government bonds almost to. Until if everybody is taking a haircut, it was recommended say, look, Central Bank needs to make an intervention. And Omuno Act that sets up the Bank of Ghana more to me to intervene in emergency situations. And if you read section 30 subsection 6, it shows the conditions are, in emergency situations, what they are supposed to do. I say, Omoni Minister of Finance, any, I think, controller, and so on, Edin Kitahon, to set a certain limit. Oh, now, Oma take a decision to make an intervention. When you know, Omu but the other, until they took a 50% haircut on their non-marketable bonds. And look, Kahona, Omukano, a course, and currency depreciation. Look, I've always made the point, say, anytime your currency loses value, and once in also, near the kind, what him say, exchange rate depreciation has an effect on inflation. You have very pass-through effect of currency depreciation on inflation. And they say, Nyomana and Ghana, unfortunately, is an import-dependent economy. Until your crown, you free on Niba. Nyomana, year ton, and our currency is your friend. Like when they say your currency is not convertible, it means you can't spend it beyond your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Even though in principle, according to ECOWAS, the West African Monetary Zone, yes, see, we can spend yen currency, amongst ourselves, the 8 countries making up the West Africa Monetary Zone. Minka Uema group, like yen, largely English speaking, and the other as a Portuguese speaking countries. Yes, see, yen, yes, can make me the Ghana cities are called Nigeria. That is in principle. But would the Ghana cities called Nigeria and Akoshadi? And our currency is not convertible. And the answer no betonima. You need a vehicle currency and now what they call a third-party currency. It's so $1. What is here? And so currency elusive value. No in terms of your local currency. No, in terms of $2 and the exchange rate was 1 cedi, which would mean say that was 2 cedis. Now, if your currency loses value, let's say 1 cedi is exchanging. $1 is exchanging for like 4 cedis. Say 8 cedis. No.
Yeah.
Until the bar. No one be kosoro. Nti exchange rate there affect you bia. And I took the time to explain the fact say your currency we borrow in other currencies, especially your external debt mostly is either dollar denominated and euro denominated. What must say? And this kind of bar na ye betua. Ye facilities on kotua o. Ese TV bia say ye ko bobisi and bar our external debt is not serviced in Ghana cedis. Apart from domestic bonds that we float in cities, most of the debt instruments we float, they are dollar denominated. Until kotua, sebi, cities on kotua. So you have to do an adjustment. You have to do a calculation. Say you kotua $100,000, for example. The equivalence in Ghana cities by saying. And know that is what the Bank of Ghana reports to us.
Yeah.
Because the legal tender in Ghana is cities. What you say? So the equivalence of the amount of money omudiko tuano saying. Until once your currency loses value, you should expect say sikana beko tuano ebeko. Look, part of our debt is sometimes part of the reason your public debt no cost due to currency depreciation. Because as your currency loses value, your debt servicing your debt servicing cost so cost. And this is almost say depreciation. And mind you, they buy some of omuniomano in dollars. For example, the Bloomberg and Reuters platforms are omu currency trading. Then are paid for in dollars. And can you say would you $200,000? At the time the currency was like 6 cedis to $1. That would be like 1.2 million Ghana cedis. What is here?
Yeah.
And in that say I didn't know could do 10 cedis. If at some point I was trading for about 15 cedis. So imagine something you were paying for. You were paying $200,000 for at a rate of 6 cedis. I didn't more than 100% increase. What do you think the effect is going to be? Omusu kano ebe kosoro. And this is not something you plan. Like you anticipate. Say, we expect the currency to depreciate this much. They always forecast said there will be depreciation. But sometimes depreciation, I share the view say currency depreciation is a function of fiscal policy.
Yeah.
So Minister of Finance and to amuniyoma year. Na currency etisimo. There's very little the Bank of Ghana can do. Even though they have a role to play. In some jurisdictions, currency and exchange rate targeting is what they do instead of inflation. But there is very little they can do. It's both a function of monetary and fiscal policy, but I would say largely fiscal policy. It is a Minister of Finance and to amuniyoma year na your currency no start depreciate here. Yeah, first one central bank say, say you should. They can't keep. Their responsibility is price stability. And they say inflation kosra obetimi abo musubo. Say why are you not working hard to bring down inflation? It's a valid point. What is here? But exchange rate there, they have a role to play because if we have higher reserves and so on and so but the case no jina Ministry of Finance.
What's your position?
My position is exchange rate no. They are using like they are saying that it's part of the reason I didn't cause no. And you cannot say they ought to have controlled exchange rate. They can't. And their cost is a reasonable explanation. And another issue soon is overdraft. I'm referring to government. Central Bank has, as per the Act, they have the mandate to do overdraft to government and to extend overdraft, to government. But between when we were in good years, from 2019, the bank has been very profitable from 2019, 2020, and even from 2017, crisis they started experiencing issues. And Enukrano even started from 2022. What must I say? But all these years, even when we were in crisis in 2020, they recorded profits. What must I say? And within that period, there was zero financing to the Ministry of Finance. No moon lend or moon fasika emma you can say Ministry of Finance to finance their budget. But when crisis no buy they was like I said, they had a choice, they had to make a judgment call. Yentina fakuna bibi answer na nyina ye hunchire ana yenye intervention bi. So they took a decision say we'll make an intervention. And even during COVID crano, they bought COVID bonds na aban eton. The central bank bought some. What is here? Yeah. And beyond and I've made the point that Central Bank, Minister of Finance, could have managed our resources during the COVID even better. But Ambanasa, until we were in a crisis situation, and the Central Bank had the call to make Yembua and Asa Yentina Fako.
Where resources means,
how do you mean? Minister of Finance, they made money. From World Bank, and like I said, even the Central Bank bought some of their bonds to give them money. Until Sika the Omunyebi. What must I say? For COVID. And I'm saying, Minister of Finance could have done a much better job, in my view, managing our resources.
Because then our resources in there for him.
And it's a valid question to ask. What are resources in there for him? And exactly, and it's a question for Minister of Finance to answer. What must I say? But the way I know pen and a crisis by. And like I said, the Central Bank had to make a judgment call. And say na yonko Drew Sri Lanka pempen so and now say we had to make a decision. And now I've heard people say overdraft they be every year be no mumasik or discount Central Bank exceeding the 5% limit. No. But then they've done only for 2 years. 2021, 2022. But this is not the first time a Central Bank I extended Sasikano and I financed the Ministry of Finance from 2012 all the way to 2015. Now,
2016 they did nothing.
I mean, 15,
15, yes.
2015, until for 3 years running, no move. And because at the time the government felt said, now you were challenges more. And they needed support from the Central Bank.
But the governor thinks that even around that time, there was no pandemic, there was no global...
But it's not that he thinks. What did you have a pandemic?
Well...
You did not. And he said, yeah. it is only justified. It is only reasonable. Say, you drew pempenso bia. You to say the country was in crisis.
I think me tell submission. Yeah, you feel the explanation given by the Bank of Ghana.
The new information on they about to justify NSC and the media mifuaso. Yes, and if you care to read. Almost statement no ebebua and let me
there's a portion of the speech the statement the number 15 that is our statement you can paragraph 15. Ladies and gentlemen, in all these, the Bank of Ghana has acted within the applicable laws. It is not true that the Bank of Ghana has been providing financing for the government every year. There has been zero financing in 2017, 2018, and 2019 and 2021. The Bank of Ghana has only had to support in the pandemic year of 2020 and the crisis year of 2022. The Bank of Ghana Act 612, as amended, limits financing of government to 5% of previous year's tax revenue. This provision in the law has been adhered to since I took office in April 2017. Between 2017 and 2019, in addition to the requirements of the Bank of Ghana Act 612, as amended, the bank signed a memorandum of understanding with Ministry of Finance to even impose a tighter restriction of zero central bank financing, and this was observed strictly, even though MOUs are not legally binding. Between 2012 and 2015, the Bank of Ghana provided overdrafts to finance government and Cocoa Board every year, and there was neither a pandemic nor a global economic crisis. So paragraph 15.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's my say? Until the narrative that is making around say, almost every year, almost is kama Minister of Finance, and almost they've done that only twice. Within the 10-year Bank of Ghana Governor Albert Naso, and Neo Pachan say, you see, the law allows you to even give to give them money not exceeding 5% of your previous year's revenue, tax revenue. But Pachan say, Krano, even though the law allows them, they were not even doing it. They were doing zero financing. What I say? The only times are where the two periods now 2020 and 2022. But Mamimfa Dino Hunsem no and fine
time now so.
Just 2 minutes.
2 minutes, but
more time they are so. I don't know if some extent because issues no.
Your point 10:30. You are away.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
we have other issues. We have other issues to talk about. Yeah.
But
we have the Electoral Commission registration exercise. Briefly.
Dino. And let me just, I noted if an educator, he spoke about maintenance, and if you care to listen to the central bank, almost see maintenance, the item, the budget line heading, is misleading. It should not be called maintenance because 94% of such item goes into fuel, and the maintenance is just 2.4%. That is vehicle repairs. It's just 2.4
fuel for
the currency movement and all other fleet, including cars like officers of the bank, air driving, fuel. What was that?
And that amounts to how much?
131.
You see the entire. You see when you break it down to fuel, there's no breakdown of this is how much. But if you calculate 94% of 131 million, you should know how much that goes into fuel. Repairs is just 2.4%. Insurance until the argument that the heading is misleading. Who can maintenance?
Who created the heading?
No. You see, that is the difficulty. If you are working in an organization, this is the job of an accountant. These are economists. An accountant decides to say, okay, I'm giving this budget item, this expenditure item, the title maintenance. Very near about repairs. Meanwhile, repairs is just 2.4% of that. And it is very misleading. Now, me was talking about, and media, I had similar concerns. Say, na dear na danya yes there are cracks. You see, the building is experiencing cracks. They did structural integrity audit, and it was not just the bank. They outsourced it to an independent third party to do and to do the audit, and they came back with the recommendation. Say the structural integrity of the audit, of the building, is becoming problematic, Nti ebe here say ombe pay bibi fufuro that will guarantee some safety. And this is, you see, we are making it look as if say our conversation began only under the tenure of these governors.
Of course.
It did not. It did not. That conversation did not start. It started in the 2012. Meba 2012. Muko Eise Muko Toasasi ADC Diama Central Bank. They went to Ridge. They went to airport residential area. Ninyina Muko Eise and you see Omuba no. And then
what happened?
No, you see
One of the person they even approached even for the land for him was Kisley Wadaku.
Amen.
You see what happened?
And then what happened?
What happened was that all the lands they were trying to buy, no issues were home.
Yes.
When Musuba they had similar issues. But Omunu, they gave them 5.19 acre land from Lands Commission, the Edimaumo. Sena land belonged to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And Meba. You see, we are not technical people. To say, the structural integrity audit you have no such technical mind to speak to that. Geological survey between which institution and which organization is better fit to speak to the structural integrity of buildings in this country beyond geological survey. About tremors, earthquakes, exactly. Yeah. And what have they said? Omuni third party entity na structural integrity audit and it is in sync with all the previous discussions they've had since 1990. 2012, when an is war. And I want us to divorce politics from this. 2012, Bank of Ghana governor MZN Wampa. It was Wampa and later Nashuru, Dr. Nashuru. Omunyinaji Tumu said there is the need for a new building. But one was new building is very interesting. The conversation about variation of cost. And that's what I'm saying, sir. Like on the surface and on the face of it, 1, 2, and find further and better particulars. I bet say, something went amiss. Meanwhile, see, section 38 of the Public Procurement Act. As amended, I think now is section 41. The conditions under which you are entitled to use restricted tendering. As for restricted tendering, it's just a way. It's a method of procurement. The first part of it, and with your permission, I'd like to. Okay, let me just read the first part.
Sure.
It says that, apart from the preamble, the next one, A, when you read now, it will be 42A, I guess. If by reason of the highly TNU, and it's not for nothing, and it's in italics. If by reason of the highly complex and specialized nature, goods, works, or services are available only from a limited number of suppliers or contractors. TNA, Bank of Ghana. Look at, and yeah, it's not just sabi, an ordinary building. Building number, it will contain vaults where they'll be printing their currencies and so on and so forth.
They don't print currencies in this country.
Who told you? There are local contractors who print. You see, that's the thing. People think their currencies are printed only abroad. Now they do printing of currency in Ghana. And it is through restricted tendering. What else here? It is done through, because you can't allow anybody and everybody to come and tender. Because you would have to give them specifications here. Nipanen we need bid nukrana, you would have known the specifications. Would he print to currency? Building na yekano. Now they know vote in their hanebeba, where their hanebeba. Nipanen we need bid nukrana. What do you think is going to happen? Well, Sebi Ujim Papa now Ujim Bonnie, and the person decides to sell the designs to Obia or Peso Digana Bonnie. What do you think is going to happen? And it is complex, and it is not just like some ordinary procurement of Betimaye. And the variation in cost issue, there's no such thing. Almost say Omoan Kasano, when they did Omoa internal, evaluations, they decided, say, okay, their technical team, it might come up to 100 million, US dollars.
Okay.
And somebody call PPA. And Omokono, they indicated why, the amount was this because of the things they wanted to include. PPA slashed it to 81 million without telling them, when you slash it. But when they eventually gave approval and they did the tendering, the lowest tender, you see, the number of tenderers, no, they were like 6. The company with the lowest tender, no, was 121 million na yehuno. Until a Bank of Ghana, and they can say, oh, we are building it at 121 million, and it later varied. But almost 121 million buy, no, and the revised drawings no buy, no. The contractor says, look, with the new and revised drawings, we can't do it at this amount. And when you revision the buy, initially they gave them, it says, I can say 6-acre land. What you say? And obviously, look, you see, building Nunkwana, near can you the so, and again, when they went to seek, Unim said, Westridge, and it's on a flight path, until you need to get civil aviation clearance. They wanted to do 25-story. Civil aviation catch on said, no, it's too high. Until the highest you can go is 20. Until if you are reducing your building by 5 stories, which means the office is by 5 stories, NSA Ira. So the remainder of the land, SODABB, until 5 no, would have gone on another part of the land. Okay. And obviously it's a 5 there, 12 prequel. Then we can have an auditorium, like some banking hall, like separate from the central bank, no? Banking hall for specialized banking and so on and so forth. Until when you are okay, and I didn't cost, no, it is not the variation by the bank itself.
I think Mohammed na yete nenkano.
It makes us rush through.
Honorable
CJ, the issue of Bank of Ghana. Say, where do we get all these issues? No, every buy, a buy from the Auditor General report, and I'm a boy. And I say, Bank of Ghana, sika krabia, ye di Ghana ye sika ne ye judie nyina de ekohonum, and I say almost store my no, e kase no mabo, and it's unusual. Say BBC beden etumi eden esi, but the point they say. Sometimes, no, my friends from the other side, the minority, and as the NDC4, try to throw dust into the eyes of people. Now I look it to say, as if say, be boni be then ekosum. Yes. If Bank of Ghana per se the BBC, would they give all their facts and all the informations to the Auditor General to come out with a reporter? Ebeka so, Moboka says 60 something billion Ghana cedis ana. But the picture is being painted out there, say, Omabo Kronubi, Omaye. But yes, Metumiaka say, some of this propaganda in Yama Ekosonum. I also blame the Bank of Ghana to some large extent. The reason is say, Usha and a press conference addressed by the governor, and the way of far the issue one after the other. Address it, get into the understanding of it. Then I come into conclusion, say, then their first press, your friends, statement on the Bible was not even correct. The reason is say, the way and manner Bank of Ghana in seminar no back to our understanding of it. And you look at the first statement on the Bible in respect of the issue of even a diner, then I can tell you, say, the mistakes of all this propaganda came from the Bank of Ghana. Why am I saying this? And now, when the governor was addressing the people, of the issue of Sika, the minority, Asoma Muka Nsem so, Yacha Yediama Abain. And then he came out to say, look, yes, yen to me yen deny say yiska say edi amaban, but yiska no amaban e this instance mo ekomu, and he raised issues. I see, even in respect of all these things, aban you for your muka. Or say in respect of all this, we're not even queuing for fuel. In respect of this pandemic, no, we're not even queuing for food, but government were providing all these amenities, no, and the money in for compared to other countries. countries are. We all went into the same situation and the way they find themselves. CJ, we cannot compare ourselves to that of America, neither Germany or Italy or UK. But let's say managing our current situation and the way and manner yet to be providing Nyama Edima Ghanaians. I'm talking about fuel, I'm talking about food items and all those things. Compared to this country, Sasebi, yet to be called crying Nyama no free on no more them. Buy a chrome, no decision they went through. But we come and paint a different picture. And now that is why. And no, honestly, when I listened to Addison, then I remembered your friend is saying Alexander Kwamina Afenyo-Markins, when he was making his last submission on the floor of Parliament, sorry. And we're talking about government media budgets. No, besides, hey, Ato. Meanwhile, you have been in the same seat. You have been a board member at the Bank of Ghana. You have been a deputy minister of finance. You know the in and out of the Bank of Ghana for Ejuma, any finance for Ejuma. But today, your people are saying, your predecessors are not performing. So come and be in a seat. So you come and paint the picture as if, say, it is not all well with the Bank of Ghana. But CJ, you see, the Biameka say the Bibia ebe politics will not get to the root of issues and deal with it. Only him say, if I've not been a minority in someone kikaya, would the Bank of Ghana come out and outline what happened during the administration? Would they come and tell us, since today 12 no we just the bomb? No, would they come out to say it? They will not. But because the minority are throwing dust into the eyes of people and doing as if say Bank of Ghana for they have no option than to come out and let Ghanaians know, say, this is how the procedure is, and we have never and ever gone against the procedure. CJ, we come to Bank of Ghana a dime, and I had even Ohinebi Ekase Onukano Sanka was that opportunity Obebubu Dino Obebubu. Yes, I agree with that. I take say if me experts, yes, I'm into construction. But their level of constructions are, Only said there are some offices be or Wube for say G office way 100,000 Ghana cedis and not 20,000 cedis. In some offices, they calculate per square meter.
In fact, building ways are no more.
Yeah.
They calculate per square meter.
Central Tender Review Committee.
$2,000.
Yeah.
But only say Cal Bank, Omodian is 3,000.
Cal Bank for office building.
Yes, it was built at $3,000 per square meter. Central Tender Review Committee. Almost see unit cost wise is very competitive in the market because they were looking at other bank buildings.
But how many Ghanaians and a name say in such huge buildings? No, people almost charge it and also almost rent it based on square meters. Their only man is on Mikoji office and I'm a boy. No, but in some places they calculate with square meters. And just as I think give the explanation. You per se say, and you see, it is not only that place a dying to be in Kosoro. From airport, because of the airport, from airport to read this some of these areas, no, you can't go to. Let me give you one example. On Lands Commission. In fact, I was on the board. I was the vice chairman of the committee. Lands Commission, and to me, in fact, we had issues with them when I was the vice chairman of the committee. But when the explanation came, said, look, I vision for, I'm going to documents by. Say, look, I vision for, we can't go to this number of height because of this. And you see, Omo yes ma dream ba so be kaya. I think there's a Nigeria airline bills a day. So you don't need to be doing those kind of high buildings. So if we cannot throw that 5 floors now away, and you 5 floors this one, they say no. Look, land economy now you can see that a lot of people are not even building your friends say short buildings or be a cost story building simply because a cost. Now even Alasin Kapo be in here. So when you get opportunity, you try to make sure say ubeye BBF afa ho ebe benefit to be akwachi. So if they are charging by square meter, are we looking at the cost? When did they started the plans? And as I said, and a Bank of Ghana, your margin say your friend is saying, your friend is saying, new head office. From 1990, and we are margin so made on see new office. And I check it down to this. Look, if Bank of Ghana, I bet to me the I come out with all relevant documents. You can see, say, from that time up to the time when government Emma Musa no kapono, a cow ma bono enya kakitwa. Because for my information, to me any about 5 or 6 consultants in Ayejuma to get them a land. And all these places, they charge them. Now say your mom will pay by a whole self-contained 2-bedroom self-contained crowd who agent. Agents need to be in the core effect. Dial how Ebi Adom FM. And then be your friend is saying Asempa FM. And then be your Joy FM. And then be AM a friend is saying I also Central. A friend is saying office on them. And so do be baha. No assign no wako. No assign no aba. No assign no wako. No on your feelings. Exactly. So it's the same thing. Only your feelings. So it's the same thing. So all the people are the same enclave. So all the approaches are here to acquire a land to build their new office since 1990. No, they have been spending money on it. And then, likely for them, where they are building the office down, are buying there. And they got it through executive instrument. Yeah. And executive are buying end to me fine. But the current value of Asaseno on a land commission, ebe calculate my wedding with you. So all these things, when
you do compulsory acquisition, lawyer, you have to pay Adom friend prompt and adequate compensation. Until no central bank had to pay and compare them to Sika baby Brianna Bubozo to your assassin. To Omukromaya, they say you land at it. Because and then can you tell me how much a land is being sold? What? See, East Legon Hills, so Mamin buy Rich because Rich is a very prime area. But look at East Legon Hills. I think those people are selling $300,000, $1 million. A plot. We are talking about almost about 6 to 7 acres of land. Yeah, 6 acres. That's a lot. One plot, 1 acre, 4 plot. Yeah. Multiply by 6. That's 24. So multiply is assuming say. Even $3 million and $4 million multiplied by the 24. But that's also you have to pay. You have to pay something to government.
No, guys, allow.
The same government was there when others
were So for me, I think, sir, with the explanation from the Bank of Ghana, no, for me, and the statement of the Barbon thing. And addressing the press, taking it one after the other now. I think that it is right. The minority say on the 5th of September, Omo koye demonstration. First, Omo kodaho. Omo bomika. Honestly. Omo bomika. So, Omo say they are going to sleep there. So my mattress is any of any pillow their mom. That can be called donation their minority. I'm telling you.
And the mattress is knowing.
I won't lie to you. Unfortunately for me, no. Me come to school, secondary school, no, and your body. I'm meeting their come home.
And tell me,
say the group I'm called joining.
Yeah, Arise Ghana.
It's the same thing. It's the same minority. We all know there's more political affiliation in this country.
No, but I see Arise Ghana and a political group.
It's a political group, but it may not be a political party.
Exactly.
It's not known NDC for NDC.
Yeah.
I mean, you have other people.
Fine. So it's the same thing. I've heard other your friends a pressure group belonging to the and also I do. Next year, you be a lot of pressure group. A lot.
Also be creative.
People will just come because of certain situation. I was on set with one your friend and say that's how we my will chat up. Now many a park. Parliament in a bonk. I'm so a park. You until we came to parliament, I started laughing with you. I didn't like you one bit. I said, why? I said, you in 2012 before he became about
CSO.
now my analysis about elections, sir. You always hit to the MPP NDC side. And so when Obeye MPM then you no you're NDC for Juma. So most of these organizations, that's how it is. Because they are sitting on the fence, no, they will pretend as if say there are people now who are speaking back all over. They are lawyers, but there have been promises. Say, attorney general. Say.
Say, I Bank of Ghana issues. Call into the electoral commission.
No, easy.
Okay, answer.
I mean, the other matters. I
was just going to say, I mean, symbolic speech is part of democracy. Say, a man for Bayo, HH strikes in the right to free expression. But media, I'm not saying a more money, but to what end? It is to express certain concerns. Movies say, money Bank of Ghana and I'm continue maybe press statement on Mudiabe. Anke if the minority and anybody who wants to join sub protest is minded that Adaina yentimi emfre and I extend invitation to the central bank say kebeya yentinase nyuma na yentiase no the same nanka watch that is I think that such a dialogue will be very helpful and might even help situate some in
lawyer
on you no yati but you
electoral commission voter registration exercise
CJ I'm Sabrina Yasu doing a yentimi monche you see sir Obertron din na me Adom a men candidate also that
I think it's starting from 12 September
next month 12 November September
yeah
now I'm saying other political parties but other political parties be every year press conference in citing certain reasons.
Yeah. CPP, GCPP,
GCPP.
Yeah.
Latin party.
Yeah.
And as well.
What to say?
LPG.
No, some many of them.
LPG.
Akpalu.
Hey. Those parties.
Now what can I do?
I mean, PNC, Nini, I've made the point that these are living corpses. They only revive during elections.
I mean, they are living corpses in your view.
Oh, I've been there.
I mean, to some people,
I've been there.
They are okay.
And when I tell you about their survival state, you should.
So now,
we are doing 5 minutes on the electoral commission.
I said we didn't any edition of Bachno no omko share yon ko ya IPAC meeting which ye dey unu zapta yan kwa
yeah manko
IPAC meeting ni mo no wo mo akwa IPAC meeting na press conference no no wo mo se ma me ko raise se Obachno din no a o kan se wo be ye no wo district centers wo mo nyina atwe no was wo mo ne nyadwen amoka se de wo maka no wo de wo mo eku na kan wate wo mo ne nim croford be kwadun jim no ba yan kwati a ma me dia basu jaso be Obachno din edin ba na Obachno din wo ma wo mbraso ebi mo antua 2020 na bia data no ni 18 bapum enura ye na se bia ne ya onu afi no anya 18 19 whatever afi no Obachno din sanfo ne Obachno din Obachno wo district centers but so ma batra dan me nimsa ha nyam tio sanso han nam tim ba ko aka se ma me je mensa ho won sua dio oko parliament abran since am ba we oko Nigeria bi ba na parliament someone so mra parliament no metre en ba bi mu kire o oko ho sasem ye ayi epie ho ko se be no waka se Obachno din no Obachno district bokan say offices to centers pe ama wo mo ka kire na wonimu ho no asese bi sige o my reason o say Mr. Speaker the entire opposite what true din what centers and say was it to prevent young because the political parties from busing people to the police stations. Are you serious? What Ghana electoral system as ba ya me ukomi kromu am police station e wo me na chipe right behind my house and a police station wo see a true din why ye be basing croford de akọ so now you the call this capital na dia the free ho ba ho no obeto for you na about is this rational see sabi da facho nyansa pa was asking we yinkra hafrim and tamafrim most district wo okrom in cross and from what district okrom
odoso
in chrono
odoso and I'm sure be a district capital crowd achima chance
thank you
answer na bia be free aprade ana say achimso ana baby sa ba ho no yeah achima chance oda achimso do evisa yeah
baby ko tini zuafo no
yeah that go off oh na me free
okay tu na anti-crack
ayo yate so what you say CJ ye wo ukọ ente meka say wo de yinkra film ukọ ada district na obi district capital na e wo bi obi se bi adenta na wote bi adansoman ana wo si from adansoman to adenta na okọ na ho de ye mbase no that is your view. Was say the entire children in what district capitals and say the region of parliament on the floor of parliament and say to prevent politicians or political parties
to deter politicians from
busing people to the centers to go and write their names. What kind of logic is this?
But wherever they are coming for, the take a car.
Thank you very much.
No, but what is it? What mean?
Yeah. Thank you very much. I mean, we're logical to say. Number two, knowing very well, say. The children was center and say me chrome the example proximity number one. Number two, I mean you're penny agent to one me some me I take fee it me ban me what take fee number no short I don't know if you are saying what anymore. He can challenge a woman who was if you want to because me never to na the opposite push you because you got one back community no because I wouldn't want.
But do you think that thing works?
It does. I mean, it does. Sanity,
yeah.
Okay, so my point is now, sir. Because would you mean Accra from Accra? Something is different. In terms of you would from. But Ghana is not just Accra, but we
do Kruma, Obian Mubia.
Messi Mukrum, we do the only moon, would you bought maybe our grandparents will be. He can tell who get birth to everything. It wouldn't have to just by the way. Makase population says the chairman do 10 years on Sunday. Every year you can just assign the assembly members. I mean they can all do it for you. See, by the close of every year, be about the population of every community or district. But we didn't put it just by the way. It's so when the mayor we now can send in our coach into a district center. Oh boy. That are not also preventing. You are rather opening the floodgate for it to come in masses. Because now, many penny the consequence in Mono, or be our THC, there be a son of all interest of person neighbor. I also the mask of a neighbor. Because normally, the normal Ghanaian who say okotun dia kotoba wo ye me enemy nua papa. By going to vote for us. Yeah. It's one me who say music no chimpo like one another one be bia
one defend
thank you one defend good and word no one defend one be bia manani anye ho a onko na go beka say mama miskara na ba me ko timo anko bi nkan sa entini say mami so what is you masre no we de bia na we nkan ye wo na atin kan ya na nti wonko akiri ye free nkra wo gambaga wo village wo no dia akan amwa wo amwa wo dia na agan wo say
not only those areas.
Na some me hono ma me.
So what you say? So when you are taking decisions, IPAC after the pension by pum na IPAC na tra no. And na dia ye ni jema say issue no. You listen to the people that you are coordinating their affairs. Okay.
Small boycott bibia. We don't say you come boycott. IPAC ma boycott. Bibia mo
nyabutre man na time. No see problem. Just
me see from say bambam bi. Hwe ya boycott there. Now so no hwe say won boycott na kwa no aso kan wan fanya djuma. And these are the issues that we kept raising. Sir, Subaina with the two ya baba signa ya na wakoya wo dia e favor wono. Party, I mean coordinations.
Okay.
So exactly. Okay. So person ye nyina de adwene anim de bom ye adwuma de a. Ya bane ye ka champa ne nyansa we fa na ba ko foti. It's ye try adwe chofa no ma bi hu a obi I said you go Jeffrey say kwa. Konukom na ko say host there. Ti wo ma free titiri ba no be ka kire say ha de ye nsia emwa sua ye ka nyina no say fa ko ye bo fa say lateral areas na no de anya bit convenient for people to come in and register.
Okay, but that's it. Even
just 2 minutes.
The position of the EC.
Yes,
2 minutes. Now,
for me, I think say
I take
for once, I agree with lawyer.
What's it for once? Be on me agree.
Because you politicians. Yeah. I've been a candidate on 3 occasions. And let me honestly with you. Who do registration exercise more? You spend much money than even election day. Who say sika during registration? A chain election day. Mikai 2012. Omu ye 40 days registration be. A kakan kami uye.
It draining you pa.
I'm telling you. Because all the agents got to her, you are feeding them morning and evening. Who you have some pocket money. 40 days. So I think that the EC need to come back again. Look, they even did one registration B. I remember, I think the 2015 we are limited B. And at that time, no, not the 4 Ablukman in our one district. Ablukman Central, Ablukman South, Ablukman North, Ablukman West. Now one district officer. So all the 4 constituencies in Yano, ebe good your friend say.
Imagine also.
So what they did was that Uremwa Ablukman North before her, Ablukman South for her, Ablukman West for her, and Ablukman Central for her. And you see, and then the man in Kofo get the opportunity to bring people to come and register in the constituency. They don't belong.
We belong there.
So Mimi feel say oh, uti him fan. Of your Ablukman North oh. But it be not oti I saw it down. And I saw it down so I have a police station there. Ablukman North first was police station wo. Because I need the numbers, I'll tell you, go and register that report. Number 2, your friends, Prudential Bank. Meanwhile, no, I saw to SDA na what I saw it down. Yeah. And I said, okay, South. Me say, register what your friend is saying, ICW. Because I knew me. Meanwhile, no, I call the streets, no, there's a school that belongs to your friends, okay, South for them, and also Honum. Oh, yeah, what district office? Mimi was serving electoral areas. There's only one electoral area on a district office no work. That everybody around that area no can just walk to the place. But if Mimi electoral area, I don't electoral area, I need to give the person money to come or and take a car to go to the district. Even though Obetman but say as politicians and 2 more on to me deny. I can go to Ablukman North or I can go to Ablukman South or even go to Adom and go and bust people from there to come and register and come and vote for me. What I say, I can go because you don't know where the people are coming from. By the time I confirm do center home no. Now my mom house numbers dada. So when you go, or they are register. But if at least this is an appeal to EC. Saying to me, all the police station, which I know say it is impossible.
And electoral area.
Electoral area. So every electoral area, you go to mount your friend saying machines there.
Make an electoral area. It's not about 6 or so.
No, it depends.
It depends.
I'm talking for instance, I have 58 police stations.
Yeah.
Making the
electoral area. So when you are doing it at the particular electoral area, and normally I think they have done that before.
Oh yes, they have.
I remember I said JT.
2019, I think so.
And JT is a very big school. So when you go and register, meeting faith, then you put you at that police station. So when they are doing the exhibition, after the exhibition, it's being done at every police station.
Yeah.
So when you go, you
go there, you check your name.
So I want to make this passionate appeal, not on behalf of the NDC4. The NDC4 chair. But I want to make a passionate appeal to them. Say, if for nothing at all, it should be done at the various elections.
I think, yes, sorry.
Media, I mean, Obia Onimi knows how passionate I am when it comes to the Electoral Commission. Any Juma Omuye. Because me feel say Electoral Commission, Juma na Nkoya, Yenina, dear friend Kabina Mikama Mamuno, Ebegu Sesia. And it was for that same reason, myself and the organization I belonged to, or I still belong to, Mass Action. Yeka said, look, there was a need for us to do a new register. Just to have a credible register. To have a register, say, okay, we can relate to this register. We have some amount of faith in this register. And look, and eventually was done. On this occasion, many electoral commission for dream back. Look, you will continuous registration. And when I with district offices. And continuous registration is different. Numbers no be a whole month can be uncle. But I can limited registration now. People who have turned 18 and people who did not have the chance to register.
For the past 4 years.
Exactly.
For the past
what must I say? Until numbers no was so. And the practice has always been that we do it at the polling stations. Like it's been suggested. Let's cluster it around electoral areas. Electoral areas it's easy, depending on where you come from. You wait to say, we'll give you this polling station. Now, and the question I maybe answer, what is the easiest difficulty? No. This cannot be innovation. This cannot be innovation. And if the reason is to prevent busing, what is wrong with busing people? You see, media. If the reason is to stop busing, busing people, because if you are concentrating everything in one district, how then do you stop? In fact, that is even the more reason why busing will happen.
I don't want you to bring people from Nairobi to Gamaga.
No, but the point is that Nippon would now go district office. Obe Huriabaho and Obe Nantiabaho. And do you think that look like Chum said? I didn't say Omufi say people still don't understand the value of the vote.
Of course.
Still Omufi say politicians favor.
Yeah.
And you are just going to you are going to increase the cost to the politician. And at the end of the day, cry is going to be chaotic. Imagine the numbers. Now one district office. Hey, look, I didn't know it's untidy, it's unwholesome. If you were there and issues are murezi, no, you see, Jerry. I've been a member of IPAC. I've been a member of IPAC for many years. You see, even though it is one man, one vote, but it is not one man, one voice. So, what I say, voice is a BH. Until you cannot say, you cannot equate the voice of the NDC to the voice of parties. Maybe CPP cry was so. So me has so me him for that parties. You can. There's a difference. What the NDC was saying? Say near NDC Becca. Minkaze at the IPAC it assumes we are there on equal strengths. But Nukra woman say the unspoken reality is say. You know, some voices matter much more than others. What you say? Okay. And your presence would have been very, very important. But that should not take away the fact that near easy person at your house, but they should rethink it. Okay. And also, you should go back and always make that point very clearly.
Atik, there's this one on a lighter note. Nanam Pofo. I say Atik is a fine gentleman, pa. I like his voice and submission too. He should not follow the NPP and NDC, blah blah blah. He will go far. Thank you. And that's one for.